I have a fabric one. Look at mine. It wiggles. Ooh. It looks
Like I have a
cobblestones.
mouse pad that
I'm Connor. I can afford fucking dice trays.
Connor, your dice. This is mine. Look, it's got a fucking D&D roll. Look at that.
I like
mine's
that.
cobblestones. Look, mine's classy. Oh.
It looks terrible.
Yours looks like
terrible. It's nice.
It does not look
It's
classy
just because
at
it's
all.
floppy. I can't show you it properly.
It looks like a.
Look,
like an
mine
napkin.
always looks bad when it's floppy.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, it has to be rigid to look good.
Is this mansplaining? Is this what mansplaining is?
Craig, I can't mansplain to you. You're a large, greasy Scottish man.
Connor's mansplaining
recorded,
his
right?
floppy
Yeah,
napkin.
this is being recorded for better or worse, but who
This is like
knows?
the
Blackmail.
outtake.
There's like a 50% chance that I remember to cut it, so
Whatever.
we'll see. Alright,
This is for the outtake reel.
it is. Anyway, I guess I should start with an explanation of the show, and also why this isn't the main campaign. Hello everyone, welcome to tonight's sort of episode of Guildgates and Goblins. I'm sure you've noticed by now, this isn't the main campaign. Some of us aren't here. That's because we couldn't do the main campaign due to absences. When this goes out, it's actually going to be around my birthday, so I'm going to be away. And yeah, we decided to launch our bonus show that we've been planning for a little while. And basically what the premise of this bonus show is going to be, and the others are going to join in future adventures, and you know, it might change around a little bit, is taking on the Tales from the Yawning Portal. Now, if you don't know what Tales of the Yawning Portal is, it's essentially a collection of some of D&D's most legendary and perilous adventures, so going all the way back, the original like Gary Gygax adventures, and some more modern ones as well. Now, we're going to be playing these in 5th edition, like we do with the main campaign, and we kind of came up with a fun little idea for it, where we're going to be doing it as essentially a persistent campaign. So we've changed some of the details, we've changed some of the, like, you know, the plot and some of the devices used within the... But we've tried to keep the dungeons as true to the source material as possible, so if things seem different from the classic version of the adventures, please don't rage at us in YouTube comments, because I've said this now, so you can't. But
You've been warned.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, it is going to be our take on the Yawning Portal, and ours does not take place in Waterdeep. Ours takes place in the northern town of North Shore, in the Rulian Empire, which is a town that sits pretty miserably on the border of the wastes beyond. It's a pretty cursed and miserable place, and so the excellent setting for me to kill all of my friends in. Now, our tale is going to begin with you, Kaylin. Kaylin. Oh, look how well the music timed with that.
Nice.
Kaylin. It feels like weeks that you've been sat in the back of this carriage making your way to North Shore. The warm climate and the white stone towers that form the skyline of Burren are already a distant memory. You sit chained amongst murderers and thieves, and every sudden, unexplained jolt causes your frozen bones to ache as a cacophony of curses call out from your fellow travelers. The others seem reluctant to even meet your eye. Your fine clothing and your stylized appearance strikes a contrast with the grim grime of those consigned to your fate. Suddenly, the caravan has actually halted. Lantern lights flicker outside through the cracked wood of your temporary prison, and a voice calls out, barely audible over the howling northern wind. "Keelan Harcourt to my custody, please!" The chainmail-clad guard sat in the carriage with you makes his way over. His calloused hands grab your arms, hard enough to just begin to hurt. He inserts a crude metal key into your shackles that frees your wrists from the seat of the bench. "I've got no idea what tricks you pulled to warrant this. I'd have seen you in a penal squad with the others. Now clear off." The back door swings open and the cold wind hits you in the face as an old, stooped, yet still formidable-looking man wrapped in furs stands there. Beside him, a dwarf clad in heavy dark iron armor, covered largely by a great fur cloak, grins at you, his bright ginger beard laced with frost. He looks remarkably happy to see you. And he calls out saying, "Ah, Kaylin, you must be. Make your way out here, please."
I make my way out.
"No, unusual of me to get sent, well, one of the prisoners. I assume you must be a great fighter or a powerful mage."
Something like that. I can hold my own.
Oh. Alright, well, you seem confident enough. I'll get you inside and we can meet the others. And by now your eyes have just begun to adjust to the harsh light because you've been sat in that dark, dark carriage for so long, but you see now what appears to be a large manor house actually, but all sorts of makeshift soldiers are milling around you and going in and out of this manor house that the dwarf is leading you towards. It appears to be some sort of makeshift barracks, you'd imagine. And as you get inside, there is already 3 unusual-looking people getting ready in the lobby. Rurik, we'll begin with you. Would you like to describe yourself?
Sure thing. So Rurik Bodros stands just over 4 foot tall. He has close-cropped dark brown hair and a thick but short and well-maintained beard and mustache. His face isn't that heavily lined, but there are crow's feet at the corners of his eyes. He wears dark brown woolen trousers, which are tucked into knee-high, pale, cracked leather boots. And above that, you can see he's wearing a suit of well-oiled chainmail that has an almost silvery sheen to it. On his forearms and shoulders, pieces of leather have been sewn onto the chainmail itself and worked with various swirling patterns and shapes. Above the chainmail, he wears a snow-white tabard with the symbol of a gauntlet upright and palm forward stitched into the chest. Either side of this are 2 bright golden lines that extend down from his shoulders towards the base of the tabard. Around his waist, he wears a thin leather belt with various pouches and containers hanging from a loop on his belt is a warhammer. The shaft of it extends down past his knees, and the head has a flat, blunt end and a sharp, hooked claw at the other. And covering his whole back is a large kite shield, which also has this gauntlet hand worked into the metal. And just tucked behind that as well, you can see there's a long leather quiver with several javelin heads poking just above the shoulder.
Alright, and Vake, how about you?
Okay, you can see sitting next to him, hunched over with light green skin, sitting just about over 6.5 feet tall with kind of this long, black, braided hair with streaks of gray that run through it. He has these amber eyes that kind of shoot out judgmentally and almost kind of grumpily as he looks. He's got arms like tree trunks and his teeth kind of bare. You notice there are 2 tusks that peek out from his bottom lip. You can see he's a half-orc. Heavy facial hair with a few feathers braided in as it kind of comes down to about his upper chest. You can see a pair of axes at his side and heavy armor. And on his back, you can see a shield that sits there as well.
Alright. And Garrick, why don't you complete our party?
Sure. So Garrick is positively glowing. Everything you almost have to squint to look at him. Not like, there's nothing actually glowing about him, but he's just very shiny. He's covered in what looks like golden scale mail, but you can tell it's definitely not gold. He is glistening off every piece of fire and every light source in the building. His warhammer equally as exquisitely shiny. His thick auburn hair is braided into his beard, which is quite large off his face. And he has a small shield along with his giant warhammer on his back.
Alright. So, Kaelin, as you're being led in, he goes, "Oh, and where are my manners? My name is Enda Harris, and I'll be your handler of sorts. Now, I guess I'll leave you to get acquainted with your fellows. Come find me in the quartermaster's office when you're done."
Thank you, sir. I look over to the other 3 and kind of just proceed to kind of eye them over. I guess see what they kind of look like. See if anybody makes any moves. Kind of taking it all in, I guess.
Sorry, Lorraine, what was your character called again?
Kaelin.
Kaelin. Okay, I would say as you get close, Rurik's eyes kind of light up, and he kind of smiles at you warmly and says, "Hello! Are you here to round out our party?"
I've been told that I am here to, I guess, make amends. I'm not sure exactly what I am here for. I'm hoping you guys can tell me a little bit more about that, actually.
Well, I'm sure it'll all be revealed in time. I'm Rurik, by the way, and you are?
Rurik, nice to meet you. I am Kaelin Arcourt. Nice to meet you.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Kaelin. And these are my friends here. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves? Obviously, they don't want to.
Yeah, a very talkative bunch you have over here. It's going to be a fun time. Right? What was that? Sorry?
Vike.
Vike? Okay.
The name is Garrick Stonehammer. The
Garrett.
pleasure's mine.
Nice to meet you, sir. What exactly are we supposed to be doing here, Rurik? Do you know?
Well, could you refresh my memory, Connor? Have I just
You've simply been brought into the garrison and assigned to a squad and told to wait for your fourth member and then meet Ender in the quartermaster's office, same as Kayla.
Well, we're just assembling here, really. Looking to make a move onto... Are we actually... Sorry, Connor, are we actually in North Shore right now?
Yes, you're in the makeshift garrison in the north end of North Shore, northwest.
Okay.
Well, I guess you guys know just about as much as I do, it seems. If there's a lot of us, it should be very interesting, to say the least. Shall we make our way over to the quartermaster?
I'm game for it.
Let's head out.
Alright. You guys notice a pretty clear flow in and out of soldiers kind of going in and then coming out with different things. So you assume that is the quartermaster's office. You make your way in there, and you see a rather old, haggard-looking, bald man with scars seeming to run actually down like the top of his head and onto the side of his face, standing beside Ender, and the two seem stooped over in conversation.
Excuse me, gentlemen. We were told to...
looks up and goes, "Oh, right, you're all closest chums now, are we? Excellent, excellent. That'll help you out in the coming days. No, I'm sure you're all tired. Unfortunately, we don't have any more room in the garrison here. Things are a little bit hectic these days, but I've arranged some rooms for you in town at the Sleepy Gateway, so you'll be making your way there shortly. Now, this is our quartermaster, Jebediah," and the bald man next to him sort of looks at him and gives you a curt nod. He goes, he'll arrange you with anything you need, so if that's it, I'll meet you in the tavern in the morning, and I can tell you what's in store.
Thanks very much, Ender.
Alright,
Pleasure.
well, anything you need, like I say, Jebediah's here, and catch you in a bit. And he sort of makes his way out of a back door on your left, with this very sullen-looking man, his scars running down the side of his face, and his somewhat shabby. You can see that it's not been particularly actively used armor, just arms folded, standing above the table, staring at you.
Okay, I'll start to walk over and say, "So, Jebediah, what have you got for us?"
What have I got for you? Well, that's all they ever say. Never what have I got for Jebediah. What have Jebediah got for you? What would you like?
Well, if we're going into battle, anything that can supplement us, I guess.
Oh, I've got all sorts of things that can supplement you, but I'm gonna need more specific. Do you have any healing supplies? Did you bring your own, or pilfering my stocks again?
I'll be pilfering the stocks, I'm afraid.
Oh, of course you will.
They didn't exactly supply us on the way here. I didn't exactly come here on the best of terms.
Oh, you're one of those lot, are you? Oh, you got a cheat coming in here asking for something from old Jebediah. Oh, is it all you're wanting something?
Aye.
Right, well, here's 3 healing potions. I don't give them to prisoners. Oh.
Wait, who's the prisoner?
Oh, well, if you didn't come here over... He raises a sort of waggling finger towards you, Kalen. Because if you didn't come here under good circumstance, I know what you are.
You're a prisoner!
The story was not quite as people think, alright? I am not a bad man. I just may have made a small mistake, okay?
Did you break the law?
No, I just may have insulted someone with a lot of power over me, that's all.
Never trust a murderer and a thief. That's what they all are. You'll get nothing
never
from
do such a-
Jebediah.
Quite right, Jebediah.
I agree.
Aye.
Well, at least 3/4 of the party have got some sense.
It seems that way.
He sort of
Anything else
slams
you have
3
for us?
healing vials down on the table for you guys.
I will take one.
I also will take one.
I'll take one as well.
Sorry, Kalen, what were you saying?
Nothing.
I thought Jebediah fought. Now away with you.
I love this guy.
I've got to count the throwing knives again. Oh, Jebediah counts 670, but it comes up short every time. He sort of starts shuffling his way up.
670.
Oh yes, they need them. They need lots. They do. He starts shuffling away and picking up a crate very slowly.
As he's saying that, can I like lean over? I don't know who's standing beside me. Can I lean over and be like, can we even count that? How you think?
Well, if you can count to 100, then just make 6 piles, I guess. I don't know.
Anyway, shall we make our way to the tavern? Is there anything else anybody needs?
No, I came outfitted for fighting.
Of course, you guys all came out fair because I didn't. But hey, we'll make do.
Wait, do you have no weapons then?
I have a weapon. Yes, I use other things besides weapons.
What does that mean?
I'm not the most.
What is your weapon of choice, boy?
I mean, I can use a bow. I have used it, and I have a dagger. That's pretty good, I've heard.
You don't
can use it, or you will use it.
I mean, I would rather not if we can, but hey, sometimes life is dangerous.
You hear a scoff from behind the desk. Go, not gonna last a week. Not gonna last a week, Jebediah. Don't worry.
We bring a whelp on this mission.
Hey, don't worry. I have other skills that may be of use. Do not worry, friend.
Listen, anyone who's not
I'm not your
attacking me
friend.
is fine.
All right. Anyways, shall we make our way?
Aye, let's go and get a drink.
So you guys would, even you, Kalen, would have kind of noticed the noise as you were approaching the garrison, and you'd all be aware that the tavern is sort of a short way into town. If you guys are looking at the map, it's number 3 on your handily marked map, but it's just to the southeast of the garrison. You would have definitely come past it on your way there. So you would know your way to make it back reasonably. And the weather's not too bad. It's kind of a light snow and a cold wind, but it's not too long of a walk.
Alright, let's go.
Alright.
We'll set off.
You guys make your way towards the tavern. As you approach, you see that it is actually lit up inside. Doesn't seem to be too much noise coming from it now. Less than when you passed earlier, for sure, as the light's beginning to fade and people are starting to disappear from the streets. The few non-militarized people that you did see when you made your way here. But you approach the tavern, it seems to be well lit. You notice a very beautifully painted sign outside in all burgundies and reds, calling it the Sleepy Gateway, which is a place that you can rest, it says.
Looks like a nice place. Let's head in.
Who's getting the first round?
Why don't I, eh? Why don't I?
You make your way inside the tavern, and all of a sudden you're met with a big blast of warm air as you open the door. And you notice that's actually remarkably quiet in here. There's sort of one older fellow, as there always is, sitting drinking alone at the bar, but other than that, it seems remarkably quiet. And kind of unlike any taverns you guys are used to, there's a total mismatch of chairs. It seems like not a single one in the place matches, but they're all kind of embroidered and draped with a variety of fraying and worn-out fabrics, but in what presumably once was kind of expensive and luxurious prints, it seems like this place is almost like a shabby man's dream. There's all sorts of different color mismatches and crimes against fashion going on in here, but it seems warm enough, and there's a fire roaring. There's a fire roaring in one side, and behind the counter a man with a beautifully curled up mustache and a nice fitted waistcoat on in a similar Paisley pattern to many of the chairs is leaning, seemingly conversing with the old chap.
Alright, as we go in, I'll say, alright, why don't you guys get a seat by the fire where it's warm and I'll go and get us around.
I pop a squat in the nearest table that has 4 chairs.
Alright. You make your way over to the fire.
Table.
There's a suitable table, all kind of annoyingly low chairs around it, but they're quite comfy armchairs. They're just, fraying a little bit at the sides, and you sink down into them by the fire. As Rurik, you're approaching the bar, I assume?
Yeah.
Alright. The man behind it kind of looks up at you and goes, "Ah, good day! Welcome to the Sleepy Gateway. What can I get you, sir?"
Oh, good day to you as well, sir. Just 4 ales, please.
4 ales. Marvelous. Would you have any preference? Southern, Eastern, something spicy from the West?
Oh, something spicy, aye. A cold night like this. Lovely.
Marvelous. Yes, mulled. That's the way to go on a winter's day. That's what my mother always told me. Very well. And he sort of disappears off around a corner. And then, very quickly actually, returns with 4 steaming tankards. And just puts them on there. And you get a nice smell of sort of cinnamons and some spices in there. Smells lovely.
Lovely. And How much is that?
It's, on the house, sir. Don't worry. The garrison have already arranged your bed and your breakfast too, and I assume that covers the drinks. So, on the house.
All right. So just so I know, for sleeping arrangements, is it just up the stairs?
Yeah, it's up the stairs. You all have your own room. I apologize about the decor as the previous proprietor. Absolutely nutty fellow, but I took over some time ago, and I haven't exactly got around to changing it yet.
Well, it lends the place a certain character.
I think so.
Thanks for the drinks, anyway.
That's quite all right.
I'll grab them and make my way over to the rest of the party.
So what kind of problems did you get into? And I look at Kalen.
Well, you see, I was but a modest tailor back in Rule, but there was this noble lady who used to be my customer. She would come a lot, and we developed a close relationship. And this lady wanted to take me on as not quite an assistant, but like a I don't know what you call it, like kind of like almost like a maid, but like the male version. Anyway,
butler?
A little bit like that. Anyway, and the thing is I would help her out, throw the parties and give her the fashion advice, all the stuff that's very important of noble ladies, right? And then there was this one day where she picked out this hideous dress, like I've never seen any hue so disgusting in my life. And I may have told her the truth a little bit too much, and let's just say she was not a fan of my input. And she banished me to redeem myself of sorts, and here I am. so
just
that is my big crime.
Just to note, you would know that when she mentioned Rule, that lies in the southern region of Burin, and is the capital of the Empire. It's very prosperous and very, very large.
You won't last a day.
I mean, I would like to. That's what you guys are here for, right? Hitting all the stuff for me.
Have I returned with the drinks?
You have, yes. You've made your way over to the table.
All right. So I'll sit down and be like, here we are. The garrison paid, so, well, drink up.
Right then. Sounds like we're going to have a great night then.
I grab a tankard.
All right. You guys are all sipping on your tankards as the older fellow at the bar sort of dodders off his stool and slowly makes his way out. You feel the cold air drift over as he opens the door to leave. The sun's just about setting now, leaving just you and the barkeep. The barkeep's kind of humming to himself quite annoyingly, quite behind the bar. I just keep staring over at you, but other than that, you guys are on your own in the tavern.
Alright. So Garrick, and since he, addressed me, what is your story?
I'm coming after whatever killed my father. I was told of his death mere months ago, and it just so happened to show up that I saw parchment on the local bulletin board, and there it was, the same place that my father died. I had to investigate.
So you're out for vengeance, then?
I'm out to figure out what happened to him.
Right.
Classic. Such a tale I am common with in the capital. They tell that all the time. It's very typical of adventurers to do such a thing. Good man, we'll help you out. Don't worry. But are you sure that they would come this way? This seems like a very drab town. There's not much going on here.
Fortunately, that was all my father was told.
At this point,
I wish you...
the barkeeper looks over and just goes, "Say, what about some food? You all mustn't have eaten."
Aye, sounds good.
What's on the menu?
No, well, we have a few different roasts. I could also got some sort of cured goods. Why, what do you fancy?
Meat.
Meat, eh? Simple man, I like that.
I think that's all they have. Or everything will be meat anyway.
Oh, I've got all sorts. You need simply tell me what you wish, and I will do my best.
I'll take whatever you recommend. How's that?
Ah, well, you're from the capital. It'll be difficult to please you, but I'm going to give it my darndest.
I'll take some more ale.
That is the working man's food, I hear. Very well.
I'll just have a roast.
Very well. I shall be back in mere moments. He sort of disappears off to the side.
Well, what about you two? And I point over to Rurik and Vike. I'm like, so we have shared. It is your turn.
Well, do you want to go first, Vike? You seem like the talkative sort.
You can go first.
All right. Well, I'm a paladin actually. I'm pledged to the Order of the Oath Keepers. So I've come here to try and assist where I can, and hopefully, I don't know. Well, have any of you heard of the Oath Keepers?
Have we heard of the Oath Keepers?
Probably not you, Kalen. I imagine that Garrick, you might be familiar with the name, and Vike, you'd probably heard of them, but you have no real knowledge of the order. You're aware it's a holy order, but
I have heard of you.
I'm not a religious man,
no,
clearly.
you're not a religious.
You're
Well,
a mistress's plaything, and I think we.
Well, we're pledged to the god Torm, but in recent times things have not been so nice for the Oath Keepers. We've been losing numbers, so I'm here to try and, as well as help the folks here, try and raise a bit of renown for the Oath Keepers.
As soon as you finish that sentence, you jump suddenly as a voice behind you goes, "Ah, most noble cause!" As a beautifully plated up roast dinner of, seems like a nice topside of beef is put down in front of you. And in fact, there's one for each of you, as well as another ale for Garrick, too.
Lovely.
Very nice.
Do you have any mustard?
Ah, mustard, of course. I keep it under the bar for just such an occasion. He kind of walks back to the bar and grabs it and comes and puts it down in front of you and he goes, "Now, right, I didn't catch all of your names."
Garrick Dawnhammer.
Wonderful. Beautiful surname. Very dramatic. Oof. Going to scare them into submission.
Greg, do you want to go next?
I'm Rurik Bodros.
Ah, good dwarven name.
Thanks.
I am Kalen Arcourt.
Of course you are. What about you? He points to you.
Like,
Pike. Okay, very well. Well, my name's Dan, and you're always welcome under my roof. So, if there's nothing more, I will leave you to it.
Good to meet you,
Your
sir.
rooms are upstairs. I'm simply around the bar if you require anything.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Right, so I'm going to start tucking into my roast, and as I'm eating, I'll say, "So, that was my story. What about you, Vike?"
I have axes. You have enemies.
That's it. No revenge story, no, tragic past, just that you want to kill things with your axe.
A man's past is his own.
Oh, the mysterious type. I see how it is. We'll break you yet. It will be some time, but we'll get you.
Subtlety is always a good thing.
But, question though to you guys. Do you know anything about these parts or about what it is we could possibly do? I am not very familiar with the area. I'm from the capital, of course.
Have you not heard of Northrend? Not Northrend. Whoops. You heard of the Lich King?
We're fighting who?
Azeroth, wait.
This isn't in my notes.
So, have you not heard of Northshaw at all before?
I mean, I knew it was on the map and such. I learned it when I was a child, but I do not know much about it at all.
You talk to a sheltered whelp.
Hey,
Alright, Mike.
This sheltered whelps could probably make you the nicest outfit you could ever see, alright? So, relax.
But aye, it's full on hard times quite recently. It's beset on all sides, I guess.
And I'm assuming they need us to do something, I would guess?
Well, that's why I suppose we've come here voluntarily, but...
Right, yes, that. Oh well. Either way, I mean, it couldn't be that bad, right? I mean...
Oh, it's bad.
Whatever it was killed my father. It must be bad.
You just hear from behind the bar, "It is quite bad."
What? I feel like you should be trying to sell me a newspaper in 1940.
I feel like that guy should be
We're all going to die. Hear all about it.
Well then, I guess we'll be in for quite an adventure then, as a group.
So I didn't catch your full story there, Kaelin. Have you seen battle before yourself?
Not exactly a battle per se. I have dabbled in certain things, but I am a man of other utility, not quite the battlefield exactly.
Well, that's quite an evasive answer, but fair enough.
I can handle myself. You need not worry.
All right then.
But you guys seem capable as it is, so I'm not too worried about our success.
Well, I'm trained. Maybe, yeah, maybe.
Have you not seen battle either?
I wouldn't say I've been fully tested in the press of bodies and, through battle, but, well, I've had the odd skirmish, but nothing extraordinary.
Garrett, have you battled?
Here and there, not a whole lot. It's more so just whatever the chapel kind of taught me.
So, royally fucked is what you're saying? Ooh. Interesting. Well, in that case, I'm sure it would go just fine tomorrow. No problems.
As you're all kind of finishing your meals now, Darnan comes over and he goes, "Now, I must say I'm closing the downstairs bit, so, well, unless you'd all like to join me for a drink and get acquainted with the area, well, that we can all tuck in for the night. Don't worry, I have my own room."
He's going to read us a bedtime story?
That is a service I offer, should you desire.
Well, maybe...
Can I ask a question? What does he look like? Like, what is...
So he's a human
Like,
male.
I know he has a mustache and
He's
stuff,
a human
but...
male. He's about, probably about 5'10", kind of an unassuming build. He's slim, but not particularly built or anything. He has Kaelin, you to your eye, actually, you would see that it's a very well-made waistcoat and shirt, and just ensemble in general. He appears to be very well dressed, especially contrasted to the people he's around. And yeah, he's quite an unassuming guy. He's sort of like late 30s or 40 if you had to guess, kind of in that middle-age area where it's hard to guess someone's age. He has thinning black hair, but what remains of it is curly and just kind of, short length all over. And yeah, his obviously very proudly kept mustaches just slightly pointed out at each end. But he has like, you would assume he had like quite a kind face.
Okay. I would love to take you up on that offer, sir, but I think we should probably retire for the night. If anything, we probably get a pretty big day tomorrow, I imagine.
I imagine you do. What is it you're off to do? Do you know yet?
No idea.
Ah. Well, whose charge are you under?
It was Ender.
Ah, your Enders. Yes. Oh. Dreadful shame what happened to his previous one, and to think, to his own as well. Oh my. That must be tough on the old chap, but he's a good man.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, well, typically Ender's group has been one of the more successful operating out of our dear town, but yes, I'm afraid they didn't come back from the last one, and I believe he's rather desperate to find out what happened.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm sure it's nothing to worry about. They probably did all the work for you. You'll turn up and, maybe tell off the naughty kobold or two, and you'll be right as rain. You'll be fine.
Sure, aye. Let's stay optimistic.
Yes. Well,
I'm gonna head up to bed.
okay. Like, you make your way, he goes, well, it's, I'm sure you'll be alright, and like I say, if you need to know anything about the area, I'm sure myself or even Ender can assist. He should be here in the morning. He did let me know he'd be meeting people here.
Sounds good.
Aye. Alright. Well, I guess an early night is I guess Vike has the right idea. So I guess I'll head off to bed as well.
Very well.
Yeah.
You're just up the stairs on the right. There's some others staying in the other wing, so you're on the right. He gestures to a staircase and makes his way out the back.
Okay. I'm going to start heading up.
Alright.
Me too.
So you guys all head up. You all find your respective rooms, I assume. You all take a room. They're all identical. They're just fairly plainly decorated. No, like, they don't really compare to the ground floor. There's no sort of, nice furniture or anything. It's all very basic, but comfortable enough and with space for your gear, so I assume you all just bed down and...
just a brief wee prayer to Torm and then off to bed.
Make me a religion check, Craig.
All right.
Oh.
Okay. First
Great.
roll.
If you nat one, this we're gonna get.
I
smited.
was not ready for this.
Me too.
Okay. All right. So, that's 6.
All right. That's fine. Go to bed.
I crawl quickly into bed.
Your deity. Your
You
deity
don't hear the meteor coming.
rejects you.
It covers over my head.
That's why I do my prayers in the morning.
Alright, so I assume you guys all just bed down and get an early night's sleep.
Yes.
Alright, so we'll say that you wake up at fairly early. You'd assume it to be... It's kind of hard to judge because you're pretty far north, so it gets light fairly early here. But it feels like the morning, and you feel well rested. So, what would you all like to do?
I go downstairs and seeing what's for breakfast.
Alright. And
I'd like to pray and then do the same.
alright, who are you praying to?
I am praying to Helm.
Ooh, alright, maybe a religion check, go on.
Oh god. Incoming deity fuckery.
I rolled a 13.
Oof.
Alright.
John, the meteor will only hit your arm instead of your whole
Yes.
body.
It was only the size of a tennis ball rather than a football.
Alright.
I still make my way
I assume
downstairs.
you guys all make your way down.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll say that you all awkwardly bump into each other in the corridor and make your way down together. And as you open the door, delicious smell of sort of bacon and fresh orange juice and stuff meets your nose as you enter the room. Darnan's just still behind the bar, just cleaning a glass as all fantasy barkeepers do. But there appears to be quite a nice spread laying out on a couple of the tables actually down here in the middle of the room.
This is as we come down, I'll say to Darden, Darden, are there any deviled eggs?
Excuse me, what? Deviled eggs?
Aye.
I can maybe fetch you some?
Oh well, I always like to start my day with 2 deviled eggs and a pint of milk.
Good sir, you're going to have to explain to me, what is a deviled egg? How do I go about that?
Well, I'll tell you what, it doesn't matter.
Oh, very well.
Another time, maybe.
No, you wouldn't say that name around here, by the way. Deviled eggs shall make the locals suspicious.
Do we hear him say this?
Yeah, you're right next to
Like,
him.
okay, I look over to like the others. I'm like, does no one see the irony here? Like, no.
I
Okay.
did.
Okay.
Well, I'm eating the devils.
What?
Never mind.
Donald just
Have
chuckles
some
to himself
toast.
and goes back to cleaning his glass.
Oh God. All right. Oh, Darden, good job on the breakfast, by the way. Looks lovely.
Ah, you're more than welcome. It's all for you guys. Please tuck in.
I shall. I eat the crap out of the breakfast.
Alright, you guys eat your share, and you're all full, and he goes, I believe Endo will be here, well, probably in half an hour or so, so you can just relax or whatever you like, really, but make sure you're here in half an hour's time.
All right.
I mean, it's miserable and cold outside. I'd recommend you just sit in here, but...
I assume there's no activities to do in the town, no.
No, the North Shore residents aren't big on organized fun right now. They're a little bit more concerned with not dying.
Well, that's fair.
Yes. Bloody boring of them, I say, but...
Meanwhile, while we're waiting around, I guess for half an hour, can I whip out some paper and a pen or a quill or whatever, and just start writing? Just start writing.
Alright, you start writing. Feel free to message me what you're writing if you want to, or you can keep it.
I'm basically just writing like about what's going on. Like it's almost like a diary,
Okay.
but not quite.
Yeah, sure. You just make some, not brief, but, concise little notes of your journey so far and who you've met. And, yeah, very well. So, anything
Colorful characters.
any of the rest of you would like to do?
I'll take out the axes with the kind of like bound grips with the there's some like almost like small bones that hang off the end of it, some feathers as well, right into that, and I'll just start sharpening them. They're already plenty sharp, but I'll do it anyway.
As the stone is scraping across, you see Dana just wince in time with every scrape behind the vise. As you make this loud sort of shing noise throughout the entire tavern.
That's fine.
I was actually going to do similarly. I was going to bring out a cloth and try to shine myself to ungodly amounts of shininess.
All right, you reach maximum shine on your armor.
Nice.
And just as Ender is entering, when he goes, "Oh, hello to all of you. I hope you're feeling a little more rested."
Oh, wait, the accommodations are pretty good, so yes, I am quite well rested today.
Yes, Danon is you're one of the lucky ones actually. You'd be on the floor at the garrison, but Danon's, well, he's a legend here in North Shore, but his accommodations are nice, yes. Anyway, let me tell you of what we require of you. And he sort of gestures to one of the larger tables by the fire again. He goes and sits down.
Go
Shall
sit
pull
down
up a
with
chair.
Follow. Yep.
Alright, so you all sit down at the table and he goes, "Now, we're going to be asking you to undertake, well, it's one of the more vital missions actually. You've all been judged as being of relatively high ability. That's who I typically handle. Now, this is going to be a dangerous mission, but we've already had a little bit of experience with what you're dealing with, so I think it should be alright." Well,
What exactly are we dealing with?
Well, about 20 years ago, North Shore had a garrison, not the manor you see yesterday. It had a garrison, and, well, there was kind of like you could call it like a sundering or an earthquake, and, well, it was swallowed whole into the earth. Now, that sounds bad. I know that sounds bad, but our scouts will report that it's very much so intact. It's just, a couple 100 feet lower than it used to be. However, we figure that we can still use this as a base and rebuild on top as well. So, we need you to go in there and make sure it's safe. We've heard some troubling reports from scouts.
It sunk into the ground?
Do you really,
Aye.
do you really want to make a fort of something that sunk like 100 feet into the ground?
Oh, well, believe me, some of the things above the ground here you might quite like being out of sight. It should be useful for us as a forward base to try and clean up the region.
Where are we going?
Well, to the fortress that went in.
Where is it?
Oh, it's to the west, about a couple of miles. You can walk there in an hour or two.
That's all I need to know.
And what exactly have the report said that they have seen there, or
Well-
that looks fishy?
And he kind of, at this point, pulls a big tome out of his side bag and he opens it and goes, "Right, so, well, this week we've seen kobolds and goblins, both. And, well, there's some unsettling reports of supernatural beasties as well, but that mostly comes from poachers and hunters from the town. I don't know how much I'd trust that."
Do they see them in like the remains of the manor or the garrison? Sorry, or is it in the
No,
forest?
They stay away from there, but they're saying that some of the trees have attacked them in the forest around it. It sounds like superstition and probably kobolds playing tricks to me, but I'd be amiss if I didn't mention it.
It sounds bloody ridiculous. The trees.
Oh, aye, they're superstitious folk here. They're hardy, but they believe in their folktales. They think the forest itself is cursed and trying to kill the town. But,
See, and this is why I live in the capital, where we don't have to worry about the magical force trying to kill you.
and he kind of looks at you with a... He goes, "Well, now you're in North Shore. Welcome."
There is something to be said for simple country living. There's honest folk doing honest work. Nothing wrong with that.
Aye, quite. And we'd like to get the town back to that. Now, our thinking is if you retake the fortress, well, we can build a base on top as well and use that as, a last-ditch garrison and storage, but it's a good spot. And what it should do is alleviate some of the pressure on the town. You see, now when beasties and the raids come to North Shore, we'd have something between us and them. We have the river to the east and they can't cross that, but to the west, we're wide open. Retaking a base would help us regrow the town, and hopefully that helps everything else.
Well, it sounds like a fair idea and a good thing to start with. But one question from me. Darden said that you sent a group there before Ender, and they never came back. What's the story there?
Yes, we did send a team down there. A few weeks ago, you were assigned to replace that team because they haven't come back. And you can see that he's kind of visibly shifting a little bit uncomfortably at this. He goes,
What is it, sir?
well, it's never nice to lose people, is it? But if you do find them down there, do your best.
So you have no idea what happened to the metal?
Well, no, I've no idea. It's a concern to me, though.
Do you know the names? Oh, Jesus, I went into Razix there, sorry.
This Razix.
The most ambitious crossover ever!
I know their names. I worked with them for a long time. It was, there's a fella called Jeremy. He's from North Shore, part of the militia. There was only two others, actually. There was Ethryn, who is this elven lass. She was kind, actually. It'd be nice to see her again. And you see the colour kind of drain from his face a little bit. He goes, the last one is, Caitlin, and she's a dwarf with bright ginger hair.
No relation of you by any chance, is there, Ender?
Well, you could say that. She's my daughter.
Oh, hell.
Aye, but she's the most skilled of them all. She's the most skilled of all the militia. If anyone's alive from that squad, it'll be her.
We will see to it that we find what we can.
Anything would be nice.
Right.
Alright.
We have our mission.
Mm-hmm. Are we ready? Do we need to do any more preparation, or shall we set off?
I stand up.
I guess we are setting off!
Well,
I
if he's
guess so.
game, I am.
Alright, well, if you need anything from us, you know where we are. Darnan knows everything about the local area. He's been here longer than I have. But, if you need help, please ask, and don't get yourselves killed. You can come back if you need to.
I give Indar a nod, and I will start walking towards the door.
Alright.
I extend a hand for a hearty shake.
And takes your grasp and shakes it. Got a strong handshake.
I'll just pull up my belt and follow Vike.
Alright.
Not that it was down, but you know, like.
I will
That's what I was
down
wondering.
and walk out.
What are you doing over there?
I had out too.
We
Alright, so
make
all of
our
a sudden
way
you guys
west.
are on the cold streets of North Shore. There's a wind blowing, and it's a cold winter's day.
Whew. They said this was to the west, yes?
They did, yes.
Alright. Well then, I suppose we might as well head west. They said that was about an hour walk. That shouldn't be too bad.
No, I guess not.
Do we need anything else before we leave?
Well, are you outfitted? I'm ready.
I am as ready as the day I arrived here, which is yesterday.
Hey, let's not dawdle.
Let's go.
All right, let's go.
Alright, you guys start setting off. Now,
Yep.
who's leading the party?
It seems
I
like
will.
Mike's kind of fucking.
I was gonna say, I'm
taking
assuming
zero.
Mike's just like,
A man of
barrel-
action.
Doesn't even know which way west is, but he's going.
Hey, Bike is an outlander. He definitely knows which way west is.
Alright, so you guys start making your way west. It's quite a clear path, actually. You can tell that this road's been trod many times, although there is sort of like a low level of shrubbery and long grass beginning to overtake the path, so it does seem to be in some sort of state of disrepair. You make your way...
It's pretty. Oh, sorry, I was gonna say
Continue.
it's pretty convenient that the road says "Road to Fortress" on it, so I was just gonna follow that one.
I don't think that's actually written on. Maybe it is. Who
Someone's
knows?
carved into the brick of the road.
I was gonna say, on our way, Caitlin attempts to talk your ear off the entire time. He's just like freaking chit chatting, like there's no tomorrow.
Roll willpower to survive. So you guys make your way there, and eventually you can see the path does veer off and stop quite suddenly as a forest appears to block the way forward. What would you like to do?
Do you think what they said was true?
Well,
I
the
mean-
trees come alive. Let's check. Oi, trees! You alive?
Roll initiative. Nothing happens.
I mean,
It's bloody nonsense. It's bloody.
yeah, I mean,
trees.
really, like how real could it be? People just make up stories all the time.
We will march through them.
Well, we can just go around. We don't need to walk
I
through
mean-
them.
Wow. Disadvantage.
It's the fastest way.
Well, I mean, just don't walk through the trunk.
That was the
You know
worst
what I mean?
joke
Do you
ever.
have to take everything so literally? Oh my god! All right, let's keep going.
I start
Right.
walking through the trees, phase
You
shifting.
start walking through the forest. Bike walks straight into a tree and passes
Yeah.
out. Alright,
2
you guys
points
start
of damage.
making your way through the forest. Are you trying to do this stealthily, or...?
Nope.
I personally wouldn't say so. No, I think we're all
Yeah.
pretty.
Can I look around just to be like?
Sure, make a perception check.
Sweet.
Yeah, I have
Kalen's
no
alerting
reason.
everyone within like a 12-mile radius of our location. Like,
No.
Stepping on twigs, singing songs.
12.
12. Alright, I'd say there doesn't appear to be anybody around you. There's nothing sort of catching your eye. The one thing that does catch your eye, and you just about see this, is there is actually kind of a dip further on. It does appear like it's quite a way in the distance from now. I'd guess around, 800 meters or so, but you can see the forest does abruptly stop.
Weird. All right. Well, I mean, we're going towards it. We're gonna get there at some point.
You guys just plowing on through?
I
Bumping
guess.
Through the forest? Alright.
yep.
You guys walk through the forest.
I'm not a forest man. I don't know what that means.
Forest. Nobody knows what that means. Alright, you guys eventually make your way to the clearing of the forest, and you now see that there's only about... It's hard to see with the dense vegetation, but there's only probably about 50 meters in front of you until a sudden drop begins. You're now on a sort of... You can tell the ground here has suffered. It seems quite broken earth. It's just stone and shale. And then, all of a sudden, there is a drop in front of you. You are very much so on a ledge. You do see some marks on the ridge in front of you, and there does appear to be some sort of, like, dead shrubs and whatnot. What would you like to do?
So at the edge of this drop, I mean, does it look like this would be where something that has suddenly been swallowed up by the earth may have...
Fell.
Yeah, like if there was previously a manor or a garrison.
There
sorry.
appears to be a large, sort of canyon
Crater.
beginning in front of you, so it would certainly seem that way.
Is there any sort of way down, or is it just like a sheer drop?
Make me a perception check. Because you're looking from the edge of the forest right now, right?
Whew, natural 20. That's
Okay.
the right way to start off.
You can see
Mike's
just
like,
on the
"Yeah."
edge, you can just see that it starts to incline, almost as if there were stairs there, or like ledges cut into the rock itself. Also, you notice, because you rolled an nat 20, within the clearing of the forest and the sort of beginning of the canyon itself, the ridge, there does appear to be marks as if there's been campfires and whatnot here.
Okay, I'll point to where those campfires are. The fires probably enemies of some sort.
Or it could just be the people who hunt in the forest, or maybe
But-
people looting the remains of wherever the garrison is.
Could it have been the group before us?
It could be that
You
as well.
should always assume the worst.
Well, that's not a nice way to live, though, is it?
You definitely have to live positively.
Positively shiny, you are, sir.
I
All right. Anyways. How do
I'll
we get
point.
down?
I'll point to like the ridges. There's a way down if we want to go. I said we make our way down cautiously.
I would agree.
All right.
Don't
All right.
sleep now. It looks like a
I-
far down fall.
You guys
I
make
s-
your way forward,
I
obviously?
set off and I turned to Kalen. Carry your weight.
So as you guys start walking past these kind of like few dead shrubs dotted around the shale and whatnot, and past what looks like the remains of a campfire.
Actually, sorry. Can I ask one question?
Of course.
Does the like greenery and foliage does it look like healthy? Doesn't look withering or?
Make me a nature check.
Oh, okay. That's 10.
It's looks pretty dead. It looks pretty like almost not not petrified, but kind of like, I guess desiccated would be the word. Like, it's very twig-like and dry and cracked. And it appears to just be like bundles of shrubbery dotting the landscape around you as you make your way forward.
And again, it is winter, so...
Brilliant. Alright. So, Vike, you are striding on ahead, right?
Nothing gets by Craig.
Oh, I thought we were all going down together. I mean,
No, but you're walking out ahead to the ridge, right?
oh yeah, I am. Sorry.
Okay, cool. Just to get an idea of where you guys are.
Mhm.
As
So you
Vike,
follow
as
two
you
methods.
step just about past the campfire, 4 of these twigs suddenly start to animate. And they appear to be twisting and unfurling in front of you.
Holy shit, they were right!
Okay.
What would
Take
you
a
like to,
step.
I'll give you, what would you like to do?
Am I so? Just for my own clarification, are you guys with me
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah, you're
behind
in
you.
front, but we're kind of, I'd
Okay,
say,
okay.
what, like a few meters behind or something?
Yeah, you're like a few meters behind, yeah. What would
Okay.
you like to do?
And they're what are they doing again? Sorry.
They're like unfurling, like beginning to animate. So from balls of dead shrubbery, they appear to be like twisting out.
I'd say Vike would. You'd probably take a swing
The one, okay. I'll let you
at
do
the
that.
nearest one.
Alright. Make an attack roll.
Okay.
Hit that tree. Oh, look, Vike has gone cutting trees again.
Nope, that is an 8.
Now, you try to lash out at some of the twigs animating, but unfortunately, you just about miss it. As I would like you all to roll initiative.
Oh, shit!
Oh, look at
Spooky.
that.
The
Golden.
first battle! I'm excited.
Hi.
Right. Oh,
I don't have any plus to my initiative. Gosh darn it. So used to having a dexterity score.
I
Am I
don't see
supposed to
anything.
see all black?
Do you guys see all black?
Yeah,
it
Yes.
Boom.
it
You
could be a
guys should
fog of war thing.
Fog of War isn't on, which is impressive. Whoop.
I didn't know we were fighting at night.
Do you guys see now?
Afraid not?
Nope.
Nope.
That is interesting. Alright.
The map is broken.
The map is broken. First thing we have to edit out, yay. Alright, that is very interesting. Why can't you guys see?
Yeah, just open your eyes, guys.
Can
Oh,
you
shit,
can you
sorry.
see it, Lockin?
No, I can't.
That's really interesting. I actually don't know why. That's kind of curious. You guys should totally be able to see right now.
I know that if you're using like design dungeon thing that they really like
I know what it,
use,
I
like
think I know
dynamic
what it
lighting and
is.
shit
It's
like
the
that.
dynamic lighting that breaks everything, right?
Yeah, because they're like everyone loves dynamic
There
lighting.
it is.
Can you see now?
Yeah.
It's the dynamic lighting breaking everything. I apologize for this. Okay, so I'm gonna mute like the music and stuff for like 3 seconds for me. Alright, just so I know where to cut to. Okay, excellent. Alright, there you go. Boom.
like how we all
Twig
just-
flights. Sudden jump cut because something went wrong. Never mind.
Hey.
And we now have 2 Vikes.
Oh, wait.
Get out of here.
Whoops. Yeah.
You added yourself again. Alright, I'll give you guys turns. Could you all roll initiative, please?
Yep.
So I
Yes,
roll
sir.
initiative for these little cuties.
Roll better than Kalen. Already doing better.
That is
So
the
I
goal.
got an 18.
Alright. You can add yourself to the turn timer.
I told you,
Ooh,
I'm
these
not the
guys
first.
rolled pretty slow.
We sure did.
Alright. Vike, you're up.
Actually, I think mine's wrong.
Okay.
Why is yours wrong?
Because I actually have initiative score. Keep going, though.
Okay. I will go ahead and take another swing. I'll go ahead and take out the second axe. I just had the first one. I'll go ahead and take the first axe
Okay.
and the second axe now, and I'll just make 2 straight swings at this one in front of me.
Alright, so just as you're swinging, it begins to sort of unfurl, and you see now it's like this. It's about half your height. It stands about 2.5 to 3 feet off the ground, and it's this sort of twisted, twig-like being. And you see these tiny green pinpoints of light where its eyes would be. And it just looks up at you suddenly. There's no noise emanating from it at all, except just the creaking of its branches. It's quite a ghastly little critter.
Okay. That is a 19.
That certainly hits.
Okay, and then the second one is a, oh my god, 24.
That certainly hits as well.
Off to a good start. All right.
The only good rolls he gets.
On the first one, that is a, well, not so much. Okay, 4 points of slashing damage on the first one.
Alright, that's enough. That does it. So your first axe just slams into it, and it immediately just smashes into the top of this thing and, like axe through a tree, just splits it in half and splinters just dust onto the floor.
Ugh. Okay, and I will look to the second one and go ahead and swing at it.
Alright.
Let's go ahead and roll damage for that one. Okay. That's a 6, so 9 points of slashing damage.
Yeah, that also does it. So again, your second axe just cuts down diagonally this time. You just smash the thing in half through its gnarled shoulder, and it just collapses onto the floor. And you notice as soon as it hits the floor, it's like everything holding all of these sticks and branches just stops, and it just scatters out into like firewood strewn across the ridge.
Okay, I'll go ahead and move up into this one next to me, and then I'll end my turn.
All right, Rurik, you're up.
All right. So the two to the bottom, they both seemingly crumpled.
These are obliterated. Yes.
All right. Okay. I shall. Let's see. Move to there. And as I'm squeezing past Vike, give me some room, Vike. And then I'll take a swing at the one next to me.
All right, make an attack.
That's a 16.
That hits.
Okay, that's 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right, you smash your hammer down on its head, and again, unlike Vike's axe cutting through them, this just pulverizes it into the floor, and you just see the bottom branches that was supporting this thing standing up just crumple as again, just twigs just scatter across the floor. And
Aha!
it is very much so obliterated.
Bloody showed him.
All right, is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
Garrick, you're up.
Actually, I'm supposed to go next because I added my
All right,
initiative. Sorry,
Kaylin,
I freaked
you're
out.
up.
I actually have an initiative bonus now. Imagine that. I'm just gonna whip out my short bow and take a shot at the remaining tree piece.
All right.
Natural 20.
Unsurprisingly, that hits. Go ahead and roll a crit.
I was worried it wasn't going to.
So I roll 2 dice, right? Like 2.
Yeah, you double the dice that you roll. Modifier stays the same.
1. So 10 damage.
That'll do it. So you slam the arrow into this thing, and it perfectly catches like the twig supporting its makeshift head where these pinpoints of light are, and you actually see it embed, and the arrow keeps going with this thing's head just attached on it, down into the ridge, and it just careens off as the rest of the twigs just fall on the floor.
I take a look at Mike and I say, "See, I can handle myself now."
That was a fine shot, Kaylin.
You're welcome.
Let's
All
hope
right.
they're all like that.
Well, you did it. That's the end of the one shot, guys. No, all right. So, what would you guys like to do?
What the hell were those things? Why? They were right.
Well, they weren't trees, were they? They seemed to be small bushes. So half right, I'd say.
Can I go up to it and like take a look at what the heck it is?
I mean, the remaining ones are basically just piles of branches, kind of, depending on how much force Vike obliterated them with, just like strewn out across the floor. So, yeah, you can go and inspect the twigs if you like.
yeah.
Yeah, make me if you want to have a look, make an investigation check.
Okay. 6.
They are twigs. They're like twigs and, yeah, just little bits, shards of wood. Nothing to give you any tell of any sort of origin, or... Kaylin isn't the most advanced in woodworking, so...
Nope.
Skipped shop class.
Yeah, terrible.
I did not come here for trees.
No, but it
We
means
keep
we have to be
marching.
careful because now the nature apparently wants us dead too.
There's more to this than there has to be.
Trees
Well-
don't just come alive for no reason, right?
I mean, I'm no expert.
No, you're not.
That's usually followed by something.
Oh,
I was waiting for the punchline
I'm
there.
not an
you
expert.
I'm just not an expert on trees.
Alright. You said, Vike, that there's a way down?
From where you're all standing now, after finding this, well, Garrick, I would say, Garrick and Vike, you can quite clearly see these stone steps that are cut into the cliff face that go down into this canyon. But because they go at an angle with the platforms, much like on your map, you can't actually see what lies at the bottom of them yet.
I was gonna say, can I look over and see, but never mind.
Alright.
Like, how well cut are these?
They
Stones.
look almost sort of impractically perfect. Like, they're very, very well cut. Straight edged and, yeah.
Well, we might as well make our way down. We just must be careful, because now we don't know what's going to come at us.
Hopefully the earth doesn't come again against us this time.
Careful what you wish for, friend. All
I
right,
will start walking down.
All right. You guys all making your way down?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So you guys are making your way down the stairs, and as you slowly step down these roughly, well, quite nicely hewn stairs in the stone, eventually you do start to just see what resembles a structure over the ridge. That, yeah, it looks like a sort of crumbling, ruined fort slowly being retaken by nature. There's sort of vines and trees growing around it, but you can see the courtyard is where this staircase seems to end. And then, after that, it appears to be, for all intents and purposes, a fort that has sunken into the earth, much like Ender said. But this does start rising into your vision as you make your way down, and eventually you reach the bottom of the staircase. You must have descended a couple of 100 feet. You were on it for quite a while. But you stand in this crumbling courtyard, and what would you like to do?
So can we see any kind of obvious ways, like doorways or...
Yeah, there appears to be a doorway in front of you, leading into sort of the main, dare I say, part of what would be the fort. It is kind of strewn with debris everywhere, including in front of the door, though.
And that's the only door we can see?
Yeah, that's the door in front of you. You're like in a courtyard, and that appears to be the entrance.
All right.
Could I take a look around the building?
Sure. Make me a perception check.
I can try. Oh, I got a not natural 20.
Okay, so additional. Okay, right. Yeah, in that case, you have a look around. You gauge that the debris would probably be fairly difficult to pass, you'd guess. But for all intents and purposes, it doesn't look unmanageable. You just have to either clamber over or move some of the stones out the way of the door. But other than that, it appears to just be a sort of crumbling stone fort, not lavishly decorated or with any real tells of sort of, cultural origin. Just a barracks that has collapsed into the earth but remained intact.
And I didn't find any, like, other ways to get in, other
No,
side doors.
you're very much so, like, facing a... You're in a small courtyard facing the entrance, essentially.
Okay.
Well, do we try moving some of the rocks or just going over them?
I say we might want to move them,
I'm
because
gonna have to move them.
in case we have to run back out, we probably don't want the door to be blocked, I imagine.
That's a good point, actually.
I agree with Caitlin.
So are you happy to move them all yourself, Vike?
I point to Garrick. Help me move them.
Aye, I'll help.
Alright, can I get a strength check from you two, please?
You guys are doing great over there.
Kaylin's got a clipboard for no reason now. Is just pointing at... that is a 21 for me.
I rolled a 13.
Alright. So you guys are picking up these rocks and moving them, and Vike, you appear to just lift them effortlessly and kind of, move them off to the side, and by the time you've done 3, you notice that Garrick is kind of struggling with his 1, but eventually he gets it over to the side, having made the saving roll by just 1. But he eventually gets it over to the side.
Back.
You guys manage to get the last one out of the way, and it appears as though the door is relatively unblocked to enter now.
At least I'm helping.
Yes.
You did a fantastic job doing so. Don't worry, friend. We'll buy you a drink when we get back in town.
I'll hold you to that.
At the place where the drinks are free, she'll buy you a drink.
Hey, you know
Sorry.
they may not be free forever. Okay, they just said, for the time being.
All right, well, we could debate that for a wee while, but let's move
Yes.
on. So, should we knock or...
I
the
say we
door.
go in. This thing is abandoned, is it not? Nobody's gonna be home. I hope.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Alright.
Is there an actual door?
I am putting you on a map right now. So,
Ooh.
Ooh,
alright.
fancy.
You guys, feel free to move yourselves around this. You should be able to see into the circular room, which was revealed when the doors opened after the debris was cleared.
I see only
That thing
darkness.
looks like-
Oh, you
one
zoom
dynamic.
out.
bottom
No,
right.
no, zoom out.
Bottom right,
okay.
bottom right. It's a
Way
big
down
map.
Oh,
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, he's right. It's a big
this is a
map.
big dungeon.
Why
Hope
am I
there
doing
aren't any dragons.
It's a fun map, John. It's not a dungeon. Everyone's gonna have a fun, safe time.
I hope so.
Alright,
I do enjoy myself a good, fun, safe time.
good. I'm glad.
All right.
I'd just try to open the door.
Alright, you guys make your way into this, what appears to be a large circular atrium. It looks actually like the bottom floor of a tower. You can see a crumbling staircase against one sort of facet of the circular wall. One thing that you immediately notice is there are a few goblin corpses strewn around the floor here, and the smell hits your nostrils, the kind of acrid smell of decay and dried blood. As these do appear to have been killed in a relatively violent manner, they appear to be lying in, like I say, pools of their own dried blood. Other than that, however, you are met with a sort of silence in this circular room with two doors coming off of it.
Can I estimate how long they've been dead?
Yeah, you can go and take a look at one if you like.
That'd be great.
Make me that'd be a medicine check, I think, to see how long they've been dead.
Ooh, natural 19.
Natural 19.
That means 22 total.
They've been dead for quite a while. You would actually assume maybe even a couple of weeks, the state they're in. You notice that, with a 22, I would say that you notice that there are also small nibble marks on them, almost as if rats have been getting to them. Up close, the smell is really quite unpleasant, so as you're trying to see as much detail as you can, they do seem to be bearing stab wounds and arrow wounds of sorts, and one even has part of a broken arrow shaft in him where he fell. But these died quite violent deaths, but yeah, like a couple of weeks ago, you'd assume.
Well, I guess it would probably be the party that came through before that took care of these.
It seems like it.
That's what we can assume. They've been here for a while, 2 weeks or so, given the dryness of the blood and the rat marks.
The rat marks?
Yeah, they're kind of chewed.
Yeah, see, look, that one is missing a thumb.
Oh, gosh.
Is there like a door in here anywhere, Connor?
Yeah, there's two doors coming off it. The white things that you can see are doors. Sorry, this one isn't entirely clearly revealed. Let me fix that for you.
Right there.
There are two doors coming off.
There's also one down there. Yeah.
Right there. Yeah, okay.
There you go.
All right. Is there anything else in the room that I see?
Would you like to make a perception roll?
I would like to.
Make a perception roll.
Just while that's happening, can I just ask out of curiosity, will like viewers and stuff be able to see the whole dungeon and like what we're about to walk into?
They'll be able to see little bits. I'm doing my best to hide as much as I can, but if you are watching / listening and you don't want to be spoiled, maybe just listen, because you will see. I can't help it. I don't have a second, production PC. You will see things on my GM layer. But if you want to see what the party's going to walk into, make sure you're watching, because trust me, everything will be fine. That's what I mean. Yeah, I'm doing my best to hide what I can.
I have an 8.
Oof. It appears like a very plain stone circular room, like the base of a tower. There's not really too much to read into it, it doesn't seem. Just, some crumbling stones here and there, piles of debris around the sides of the walls, and these two doors leading off of it. Other than that, you imagine that the tower that was here fell when the fortress fell. Didn't seem to survive.
All right, lads, do we go right or do we go left? What do you
Let's say right.
All right, then. I walk over...
Well, right is right.
My father always chose left, and he's dead. I agree.
What?
Jesus Christ.
Wow. Okay. Well, then, let's go right then. I go to the right door, and I see if I can open it.
Wait. Don't fully open it. Do that slow peek. Open it slowly.
Okay, I'll do this.
I'm not sure you should take point either.
I'm just looking. It's fine.
By taking point.
It'll be fine, sir. Don't worry. I won't go through it if it makes you feel any better. All right. So, I go to the door and I kind of open it slowly and peek through.
Okay. So you go to this right door. So you're going to this door here, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So you open it a peek. I'll say that you can see about half of it. You can see that there's a longish corridor ahead of you with a door going off to the left and also a door right at the end of it too.
I don't see much. I see another hallway and some more doors.
Well, gently, more and more.
Yeah, I walk up and push more of the door open.
Okay, as the door swings open, you see that there's actually another door to the top of it as well. So on the right-hand side of the corridor leading to a room. This corridor, much like the ruined tower you're in, simply has less loose stone than the tower. Obviously, this one survived a little bit better, but this still just, dusty. There are a couple of torches lit in here, I would say. But other than that, just some loose stones here. Loose loans, apparently. Here and there.
Torches?
And,
torches are lit?
Yeah, 3 doors coming off of it.
Why are the torches? Why are the torches lit? Yeah, usually it requires, someone to light said torches.
Oh, that's just the lich. Don't worry.
Oh shit.
That's probably not a good sign. Although it might be a good sign because we might be going towards what it is we are looking for.
Aye.
You always state the obvious.
Most of the time, yes.
We're gonna be here all day at this rate. And I walk to the end of the corridor, and I look to the rest of the group.
Now, Vike, when you turn around, you notice that these doors are not all the same. The door that is on the left of the corridor, if you were walking down it, we'll say. But the door that is on the bottom of the corridor on your map. This actually has some sort of symbology carved into it. It seems to resemble some sort of, almost like a flying fish.
Okay, I'll point it out to the rest of them. There's a marking. I'm not sure of what.
No, something you can't do.
Oh. Looks like he needs us after all.
Let me take a peek.
Alright. So you're looking at the door. I would say, because you're both looking, one of you or both of you can make history checks, or one of you can make it with advantage.
Okay, John, you go.
Okay. I am proficient.
Well, you said it first, to be fair.
Ooh, natural 20. Oh boy.
Oh my goodness.
High rolling it tonight.
Oh, and the other one was a 5.
So
that was the Loren roll right
Why
there.
would you roll the second one? Would you want a natural 21?
I want both. I want both to be natural 20s. Yeah, so
Alright.
22 total, I guess.
mean, so you're looking at this this strange creature carved into it. There's not, you don't get any specific reference that comes to mind. However, what you do notice is that this is certainly a fish portrayed with dragon-like features. So this is almost like an amalgamation of a fish and a dragon. It's not like any creature you recognize or have ever heard of, but this is definitely somebody drawing. If somebody asked you to draw a fish dragon, this would be an excellent interpretation of that.
The amount of times.
It looks like a fish that's been mashed up with a dragon of some sort. You can see the scales, and the scales are similar wings. And
What would such a thing mean, though?
I don't know.
One way to find out.
I've never seen something like this before.
Can I hang on? Can I walk up to the door, put my ear to it, see if I can hear anything on the other
Sure,
side?
make me a perception.
15.
Silence.
Well, it seems like there's nothing on the other side. Vike, would you like to try to go through the door?
Open the door.
Oh, now you want me to open the door. Okay, I see how it is. I slowly turn the door to see if I can, if it's locked, first of all.
Yeah, you managed to make about half an inch on this sort of ornate bronze handle carved into it, and it just click. This door is locked.
Well, there's a criminal, no way to get through there.
Actually, it's funny that you mentioned that. I do have a little something that might be able to get through the door.
You went a bit Mario there. That was amazing. It's a
I
button.
know. I don't know what happened there.
It's a me.
It's a me.
That was more Waluigi.
Yeah, I just want to DM a whole session as Waluigi. That's my dream.
Every character is Waluigi. Oh, that'd be great.
A goblin runs out. Wah!
Can I whip out my tools and attempt to?
You can make me a thieves' tools check, which is dexterity plus your proficiency with the tools.
Yeah. 15.
Okay. You kind of go at it for a while, and it is a very tricky lock. You've kind of practiced a little bit, almost just out of curiosity, hearing it whispered about in the noble circles and whatnot. But you do just about manage to get it go, but it was unlike any lock you've picked before. It took you quite a while, the rest of the party looking a little bit impatient, as it takes you 5 or 6 minutes to get through this door, but eventually you hear that resounding thunk as the lever lifts, and the handle appears to be loose now.
Got it. Put it back into the...
It took you long enough.
Hey, you can't rush perfection, okay? And I open the door slowly and do the whole key thing that I did earlier.
All right.
Slicing the pie.
Okay, so as you open this door a little bit, you're just opening it a little bit, right?
Yeah, just doing the old peek.
Okay, so you see like a little sliver into it. It's quite a small room, I would say. You can see down to that's about there, I would say.
Okay. Do I hear anything now that I've opened the door?
Absolute silence. The only sound is you opening the door.
Okay, can I slowly keep opening the door like I did earlier?
You can indeed. The door eventually just swings open, and you are inside about a 10-foot by 10-foot room. It's pretty small. The chamber's hewn from stone, and it contains an upright keg, actually, fashioned in rusted iron. You can tell this was obviously once normal, but it's decayed and rusted as the times took its toll on it. But however, 2 pipes lead out of this keg, going into the floor. Both of rusted iron too, and there's nothing distinguishing the 2 pipes, from what you can see.
What the hell is this? I walk in and kind of inspect to see if there's anything else in the room besides that keg.
It appears to be much like everything else, just a slightly moldy, slightly decaying stone room.
What do you see in there?
There's this keg with pipes that go into the floor. Does anybody know anything?
I'm quite an expert on kegs.
I was going to say, is there ale?
So, Rurik, are you going in to have a look?
Yeah, I'll go in.
So, when you go in to have a look, you notice that, Rurik, you'd be, very used to looking for these things. You notice that the keg is actually bunged with quite a wide, shallow bung made of metal in the top of the keg.
Oh, that's curious. Can I just give it a gentle kick to hear if like any kind of liquid sloshes around inside?
Sure. It's you hear a sort of swoosh, swoosh, swoosh as this heavy sounding liquid goes side to side in the keg.
I feel like they would not bother locking up just plain ale if that.
No, and that the pipes going to the floor is a little bit odd. There's a symbol on the door. Questions upon questions.
I mean, this seems very bizarre to say the least. I don't know. Can I like pull on the lid of the keg?
Are you trying to pull it out?
I mean, can I? Does it open?
So you're trying to remove the bung. Make me a strength check. It appears to be made of like a similar rusted metal that's kind of lodged in there. You kind of give it like a very casual tug initially. You realize this thing is kind of stuck in.
18. Kaylin is strong.
All right. 18. You pull
ale.
on the keg, and initially it's not quite giving as you can feel the metal scraping against the metal where it's ionized and all the rust is on there, and then eventually just thung, you hear this resounding sound of unlike what you're expecting. The liquid seems to rush out the top of the keg and very quickly vaporize and start forming 2 things in front of you.
Oh no!
One of them staying in quite a gaseous form. However, the other quickly solidifies and appears to be almost like an imp floating in the air in front of you, this small mischievous creature. As all of a sudden, there are 2 gaseous, one gaseous and one solid forms in front of you. Looking not too happy to see you, and I'd like you all to roll initiative. Bearing in mind, there will also be a surprise round.
I mean, I'm clearly very
Great.
balls.
Man, I am rolling great for initiative.
Can we have the initiative board?
Oh, you can. I guess you can. Okay, let me reset this.
I shouldn't have opened the keg.
Kaylin, I'm just going to move you to the side quickly, just so I can grab our gaseous friend and add them a turn.
I didn't know it was a geisha. What?
We've been transported to Japan.
This fight's about to get weird. Right, let me roll initiative separately for these chaps.
I got a 13.
Mr. Gaseous rolls an 18.
I got a 9.
Mr. Solidified rolls a 7.
I thought Kaylin was the only gaseous thing in this campaign. I guess not.
You are a gas bag.
What?
You never heard that phrase?
Full of hot air.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Alright, you all done your initiative?
Yes.
Oh wow, you guys really didn't nail it,
Suck?
did
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
Okay, so initially these things are just roaring out of this keg. You just hear vroom as the metal keg begins to vibrate with the energy of releasing them. And all of a sudden, these forms form in front of you, and there's a deadly silent pause as they both just stare between you. And then, the one formed out of this swirling steam is going to lash out at you, Kaelin.
Of course it is.
And that is going to be for a 6. I'm going to assume that doesn't hit.
No, it does not.
All right. And the next... Oh, is he going to do anything else, actually? Yeah, then the steam one is going to fly out the back of the room into the corridor.
Ah! Guys!
Don't let him escape.
And you actually get attack of opportunity on it there. Yep.
I do? Oh, sweet.
It's kind of in between there and there, Rurik, so you don't.
Do I though? Because I'm like surprised though, I guess.
Yeah, you still get a reaction.
Let what escape?
That.
Ace.
So do you see 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't hit. Alright. And then, alright. The next one, the ice one, is going to lash out at you again, Kaelin. They both seem less than pleased to see you. And that is going to be an 11?
Nope.
Oh, my boys aren't doing it. Alright, that one's going to stay fixated on you. So, now we go to the top of the round, so it's the steam one again. The steam one is going to roll an attack at you, Garrick.
Okay.
For, okay, 19.
That does hit.
That hits, alright. Let me get stats.
Kaylin doesn't get hit either time, even though she opened the keg, but Garrick's just gonna get fucked up by these things.
Alright, so Garrick, you take 2 points of slashing damage, and also, as this creature just formed of this vapor rakes into you, you feel it hit you like a real blade, but also there's this scalding pain, and that hits you for an additional 3 points of fire damage.
Oof.
Ow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an owie. Alright. Rurik, you're up.
Okay, I shall make a swing at the more solid-looking one between me and Caleb.
Okay. Roll
Or
your attack.
Kaelin, sorry, not Caleb. That's a nat 1, so...
Yeah, unsurprisingly that doesn't hit. So you go for this solid thing, but you're kind of very, like, surprised and bent up, and you're drawing a sword, you take a swing, and it just clong, you just get it stuck on the keg, and you're like, ah, ah. And unfortunately, that's going to take your attack.
Okay. And then that ends my turn. I got nothing else, not going to move.
Alright, Vike, big man, you're up.
Okay, well, dropped my pin. That's a bad omen. All right. I assume I can't get into the room. I don't think I can. It's too much blocking my way, right?
Yeah, that would be too much. You would have to run through this creature, which...
Yeah, seems ill-advised. All right, yeah, I'll just attack this guy. Two
right.
swings with the hand axe.
Okay, make your attacks.
For a 16 and 15.
Okay, both of those hit. Roll damage.
Okay. For 6 points of slashing damage on the first one.
Okay.
And then 5 on the second.
Alright, beautiful. So you rake through this thing and you see that your axes actually sort of catch part of the vapor and almost tear it away, and this thing goes... You just hear this huge hissing sound as it reforms, but you do notice some of the vapor trail away and just dissipate.
Alright. That's my turn.
Alright. Kaelin, you're up.
I'm going to try to stab the guy beside me.
Okay, the icy one.
The solid one. Yeah. Natural 1.
Alright, again, you go for a stab, and you're so busy looking at Rurik getting his sword caught on the keg, you don't realize that you just thrust your dagger into the keg as well. You're like...
Well, this is a little awkward.
Fancy me and you here!
Yeah.
And, you know, you can't really imagine a sort of floating imp made of ice laughing, but you're pretty sure it is.
And for my bonus action, I would like to give Bardic Inspiration.
To who?
I will give it to... Let's see.
I'd argue only Rurik is really in your line of sight
Yeah,
right
I was gonna say Rurik probably. I'll give him inspiration.
now. I
I'll
might
be
regret asking this, but how are you giving inspiration?
I go, hey, Rurik, you're looking mighty fine, but please get this thing off of us. And
Oh, your words bring me comfort.
Rurik, you
poet.
receive inspiration.
Okay, so what's that at this level? Is it
a D6.
a D6? Okay.
Alright. Galdrick, I assume you're not moving, Kaelin.
No.
Alright, Garrick, you're up.
Garrick is going to pull out his holy symbol and cast Sacred Flame on the Misty Boy in front of me.
All right.
I have to
You go for
hit.
it.
Yeah. That probably doesn't hit. I rolled a 10.
That hits. do you
It
damage?
did! Look at me. Alright, D8 for
Look
damage.
at you go.
I rolled 6 radiant damage.
All right. So your Sacred Flame just actually seems to emanate from the creature itself as you conjure it. And again, you just hear a sizzling sound. And just part of this vapor, again, just seems almost like break loose and drift away. And this thing is looking far sort of translucent and vapid than it did when it was first summoned. All right.
Sweet.
Anything
I'm
else?
not gonna move. I don't want to get attacked.
Okay. So the creature inside the room with you, Garrick and Kalen, this icy form is going to look between you two, failing to hit it and just striking the keg. And just kind of twitch between you two. It's going to lash out at you with its claws. Garrick. Not Garrick, sorry, Rurik.
Okay.
On the
You
other
have
side of the
similar
wall.
I'm
names.
sure that won't happen a lot.
Yeah, I know. Garrick and Rurik are really, guys? Come on.
I
actually
chose
laughed when I
first.
saw that too. I was like, oh god.
Okay. That is going to be 15.
That's a miss.
That is a miss. However, it is now going to rear back as it realizes your armor is too strong.
Haha.
Oh, you laugh now. And it is going to exhale a cone, which is going to hit both you two, Kalen and Rurik. And I
Okay.
need from you a dexterity saving throw.
Freaking level 1!
Go
Okay,
dex
that's,
character. Come on.
That's an 11 from me.
Okay, you make it.
24 for me.
Alright, so you guys see this rearing up. It's almost like into the back corner of the room away from you. As you feel the air rushing towards it, and then it just exhales this biting frost over both of you. Thankfully, you both noticed this coming, and Rurik, you managed to get your shield up, and Kalen, you managed to just raise an arm just in time as this frost slams into you, and you both take 4... Nope, halved. My apologies. You take... Okay, 4 points of cold damage.
Okay.
Alright.
Yikes.
That's the end of its turn. Okay, the Steam Imp Method thing, it's a method. The Steam Method is going to lash out at you, Garrick. I wasn't a big fan of that Sacred Flame,
I'm going to, as a reaction, cast Warding Flare.
which does...
It gives you disadvantage if you attack me and only me.
Oh,
For this specific
I'm attacking
attack.
you, so... that was good.
He's a
'cause
shiny boy.
I rolled a 21 and a 4, so you
Yay.
don't get hit. Your Warding Flare, this creature lashes out at you, but just in time, you invoke Helm's Guidance, and blinding lights flash in front of it, and it just recoils immediately and floats back from you a little bit, just seemingly taken aback. Alright. Rurik, you're up.
Okay, I'm just going to go for the... In fact, I'll go for the vaporous one.
Okay.
The one that's near death.
You do
Oh,
notice it's looking significantly weaker than when it was summoned.
So that's 20 with my
That
Warhammer?
certainly
Total.
hits.
Okay. And that deals... 4 points of bludgeoning
Okay,
damage.
that's enough. Alright, so as you swing this overhand strike with your Warhammer to fit through the door frame, it just perfectly catches its center mass, and as you hit it, it's like popping a balloon, just dissipates into nothing.
Aha, see that, Vike? That's how you do it.
Alright,
And then I'll just move down a bit here to give the guys a bit more space.
okay.
And
Vike,
ends my turn.
you're up.
Okay. I will step into the room and turn to this icy figure there and take 2 more swings.
Okay,
That's a natural 20
that certainly hits.
and a natural 16.
That also hits.
Okay.
Roll your damage, double dice on the first one.
Yeah, and because I'm a half orc, I actually have savage attacks, so I get to roll the damage again on the critical hit. So an extra d6 on top of it. So I
Okay, so you
actually
get
took,
extra dice, alright.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Half orc OP.
Half orc crits, yeah.
oh my god, this is why I need a tray, I guess. Right? Oh, that's no good.
Sounds like you need more than 1d6.
So 10 points of damage on the first one,
Okay.
and then the second one is 5. So
Okay.
15 points of damage.
So you swing in both your axes at once and you catch this thing and just hurtle it into the wall, where it slams into the wall and bursts into shards of ice. And as it bursts into shards of ice, I would like Kalen, Vike, and Rurik to make a dexterity saving throw.
For God's sakes, you fool!
Sorry, who released the methods?
Shut up!
That's another 11 from me.
Okay,
That's a 10 for me.
okay.
I got a 21.
Alright, you all manage to see this coming. You see the shots coming. Once again, shield up, arms up, and Vike just doesn't give a fuck. And you all take 4 points of slashing damage. I max rolled that, I apologize. But you all take 4 points of slashing damage.
That was the best rhyme, I think, of all time.
Thank you. That also rhymed, well done.
Yeah, it was good.
Alright, and whatever creatures these were, silence falls again. And they seem to be banished. And all
Well-
that is left is a keg with Kalen's dagger sticking out of it.
We
And a lot
beat
of ice
the
on the floor.
keg.
I will walk up and take out the dagger and give it to Kalen.
Make me a perception roll.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Son of a... Okay, you know what? Trey
That's a 1.
needs-
You're acting like me now.
I shall go pick up my own dagger,
Just
thank you.
yeet my die off the... That's a 16.
Okay. As you pull Kalen's dagger out, the vibrations it causes in the rusted metal, you hear something else in the keg. It's another method. No, alright. You hear something else in the keg as you pull it out.
I will kind of take it and hand it to Kalen. Be more careful, boy.
Oh, come on. How was I supposed to know there would be weird things in there? Give me a break. I put it in my pouch.
I will turn to Rurik and say, something is still off about that keg. You should
Well,
maybe take a look.
Curiosity killed the cat.
We're a bit far in now for that.
It almost killed the bard as well. Does anybody would anybody be willing to just you know, it's just suggested to part with their healing potion? Maybe I took quite a bit of damage
Well,
in that battle.
I'll tell you what. I shall use lay on hands on myself and restore.
Thanks.
I will restore 5 hit points to myself with lay on hands, and then give you my healing potion.
Thank you. I am going to drink the healing potion.
I'll turn to Garrick as well. There's something still with that keg.
Well, why don't you
Perhaps
poke
we
your
might-
head in there, Vike, and take a good look around?
I'm not here for the keg. Makes no difference to me if we check it.
I hope it's ale.
It wasn't last time.
I will say where
mean,
your
the top
sword
is up,
collided
right?
with it, Rurik, and where your dagger went in, Kalen, no liquid came out.
I mean,
What is
the
it?
top is open. Just look inside.
But it's like a bung tap. It's about a hole that big in the top. It's not the hole. It's not like a barrel open.
Does anyone have a small piece of something?
What?
Thing I could drop into the bung,
Do I have a small piece of something? I'm assuming I have something. I can...
or can I find a stone?
You're in corridors
that'll
full of
fit?
loose stones.
Yeah,
so-
I'll pick up a stone and cast light on the stone,
Oh, beautiful. All right. You have a shiny pebble.
and then I will drop said stone into the bung to see if I can
So you're dropping
See
it in
what's
the top, the hole,
in the,
right?
in the top. Yeah, and
So it
try
makes
to-
quite a loud dong, which seems to echo. And you can see in the keg now, when you're looking in the top hole, there appear to be well, you can't quite see all of them, but quite a few gemstones of some sort in the bottom.
There's gems in the bottom,
Gems, you say?
and
Sounds
one
like-
rock.
Well, you can keep the rock if you want it, Garrick. But I guess the gems are ample reward for dealing with whatever we
I
just.
mean, it may be worth our while to sell them later for.
I will attempt to... The pipes are pretty rusted, right?
Yep.
I will attempt to kick the pipes off of the barrel.
You make me a strength check if you're kicking them.
Okay.
Breaks his foot.
19.
Alright, yeah, you kick the pipes and they don't just come off the barrel, you basically shear a whole bottom section off. And I would say where the pipes were facing, all of you can now see there appears to be 5 blue gemstones in the bottom and a very shiny rock.
Do you want your rock back, Garrick?
No, I can do that whenever I want.
Well, there's 5 gemstones and 4 of us. So, what do we do about that little puzzle?
Well, why don't we sell all the gemstones, then divide the gold up?
All right.
Let's
The best
make
idea you've
sure
had
that
so
Kalen
far.
doesn't hold any of the gems.
Aye, no offense, Kalen, but maybe we should, maybe someone else should hold them just in case.
What is wrong with me holding the gems?
Gak, you seem like a stable man. You can hold them.
You guys have
Alright.
no faith in me. It's unreal.
Alright,
Have
Garrick,
have I let you astray as of yet?
No.
You just opened a keg that had 2 scary things in it.
I also unlocked the door very skillfully for you.
It took so long, I could have kicked it down in half the time.
Ugh. Anyways, I am done with this. I walk out.
All right, Garrick, you take the gems, you put them in your side pouch. However, you do notice as you take them, there's a faint blue light in them that just kind of flickers out and dies as you're holding them. Then you put them away. Where would you like to go?
Well, we got 2 more doors here, at least. Where do we start? All right,
I'll let you guys decide since I make such good decisions.
All right, let's go for the top one.
I,
I'm just going to open it. I'm not gonna slice the pie.
You're just
Yeah.
gonna open it.
Yeah.
All right. In that case, Mr. Dramatic, it is an entirely empty room.
ah, nice.
Oh, this
It's a
one's
ruined
empty.
chamber, and all that's in it is some form of rocky debris. Nothing of note.
Oh well.
I do have it. How is the lighting in this? Like, I know it's pretty crumbly, so is there like light coming in from
In there,
outside?
it wasn't so good, but when you open the door to there, there's a torch on the wall behind you, and it shone in, and you could see
Right.
there's nothing in there.
Okay.
However, the
And
corridor you're
something-
in is very well lit.
Yeah.
Similar to the
Okay.
Mephit room, just got the light from the torches outside. And your light spell.
Of course.
I will open the next door, the one at the end of the hall.
Alright. So, are you just opening it and going straight in?
Yep,
Alright.
straight open it.
Vetus Maximus, let's go. As you go in, you see
Oh shit.
There's a
a
cheeky
kobold
wee guy.
before you. However, he's kind of sat down in his chair, just doesn't
He's
really
having a
seem to react to you at all.
Can we see this, or is it just like?
I would say you all go in and you can see it.
I throw my axe at him.
Are you actually throwing your axe at him?
Oh, God.
I mean,
never-
you said it.
Never asked the player that. Of course
I
he did.
could, yeah.
Alright, make me an attack roll.
Okay. Is it advantage?
It's not, no.
Okay. 20. Unnatural.
Unnatural 20. Alright, you throw your axe, and it just slams into this creature's shoulder. Let me roll damage on it. Oh, actually, you can roll your damage.
No, he was a plot device, and now we've killed him.
5 points of slashing damage.
Alright, he falls backwards off his chair entirely and kind of clatters onto the floor and just lets out an unearthly scream. At which point,
Uh-oh.
3 kobolds rush out of the room on top and say, "Oh, who are you? What are you doing?" I say you're all in this room by now as well. Move in. The one behind you is still just on the floor, kind of incapacitated.
Way to go, Mike.
Well,
Um,
follow your action through.
Yeah, there are enemies. I'm gonna walk over to the one on the ground. If no one's like stopping me or no one's saying anything, I'll walk up to the one on the
Well,
ground.
the kobolds just yelled at you. But alright. As you do this, there are more kobolds appearing from the left-hand side,
All
all
right.
armed with spears and slings, and they're sort of jittering towards you a bit.
Now,
I'll look
perhaps
to
we
the
can
group.
talk about this.
Yeah, I'll stop walking towards the guy. So I guess never mind. I would have stayed here. I'll stop walking towards him.
Okay, you can stop walking between them. Alright. Let's go. Who are you? Who are you? Quickly.
Well, look, let's be honest. We're adventurers. We're looking for a previous group that came through.
What have you done to Meepo? Is he behind you?
He fell off his chair.
You can go.
He
You
got
can-
scared. He got scared and he fell off his chair. We're sorry about that.
One of Kalen and Rurik rolled deception with disadvantage.
All right, Kaylin, you're a bard, right? Do it.
Sure. A whole 7.
Nice.
Good lord. They go, "Ah, you're lying. You're lying. They're lying. They're lying. And they all kind of look at each other and nod and go, yeah, I think we'll take you with us now. There's lots more of us. You don't want to start a fight?
Take us where?
Oh, well, the Queen will decide what to do with you. The other ones, oh, they talk, they deal, they talk. You come in, axe swinging. Yeah, we'll take you to the Queen.
I was told kobolds were my enemy within this place.
Who told you that?
Indar.
Who's Endar?
Anything, they're just kobolds.
What if we... No. I will not accompany you to your queen.
Alright.
If you make a step towards me, I am a lot closer to this man than you are, or this kobold.
Oh, maybe I was useless. Lost our dragon. Don't care if you stab him, to be honest. But we'll go get the rest. There's lots of us.
Can I
I look to the rest
lying?
of the group.
Yeah, make an insight check.
Yeah, I was like, he might be just saying that.
I don't know, 6
19?
kobolds is still scary.
He's not lying. He seems like he's about to run off and get his mates.
Okay.
I look to the rest of the group. I have no
By the way, just for your reference, you're talking to this kobold here.
past dealings with kobolds.
Oh,
Look, I
we've
think
got
we
dealing
can
with
come.
you, mate. You stabbed me, Bo. Hit with
I
your
think we
axe.
can come to an
I can see
understanding
him.
here.
What's the understanding? You're coming to see the Queen. There's no two ways about it.
I like to fight. I'm like, there's a lot of kobolds here.
And do you think there'll be less in front of her?
Maybe not, but we might at least be able to negotiate or something. This does not look favorable for us.
At this point, Vike, you would see that the kobold in the back has scurried away.
Out.
I look to Garrick and to Rurik.
I don't feel like dying today. They
If we go with
outnumber
them,
us.
if we go with them, that won't be our choice.
Well, at least we won't die now.
Better to die a warrior's death now than at the executioner's blade in a few hours.
While you guys are having this lovely discussion, you notice that several more kobolds are beginning to flood into the room.
Look,
This person
and
has clearly gone and alerted.
I'll put my axe away, and I'll walk up to the other one, and I'll kind of keep my hands up.
What, like in a surrendering fashion?
I'm walking up to the one that has my axe in his shoulder still, with my hands up.
Oh, okay. Sure, he's just on the background, like on the ground at the back, kind of woozy, like, just like whimpering at the back.
I'm gonna take my axe out of him and put it in its sheath and say, "You need to stabilize him." And
Okay,
I
As soon as
will.
you take the axe out, he starts screaming, and several of the kobolds start making very skittish movements towards you.
look, we'll go see your queen. It's fine. We will take us to your queen.
You got us. You got us.
Yeah, we will not resist. We
Why?
will go with you to see your queen.
Yeah.
Just wanted my axe.
Alright, well, our guards are coming now. Out of my pay grade. And you're gonna see 3 kobolds in far better armaments. These guys are actually wearing what appears to be some sort of motley array of chainmail. Walk into the room. Go. You're going to come with us. We'll take you before our queen.
We sure are.
Yeah, you'll pay for this. Alright. And so, you guys, I assume, go with them. So
Yes.
you get
No
led
stopping
by
on
this, you get led by this just convoy of kobolds to your front and back, pointing spears and jabbing at your back if you slow down.
As we're like walking, I whisper to the others. I go, I think this explains what happened with the other group.
Why? Maybe.
And you're led up into this. You can all move yourselves up if you are doing. There you go. I'll move you into the darkness for now. You're all led by these properly armored kobolds. The rest seem to break off as you approach this large chamber. But these kobold guards take you into this large chamber ringed with pillars, or lined with pillars even. And at the end, is a kobold and 2 more of these better armored seeming guards with unusually fine robery on. You notice Kalen immediately. It doesn't exactly fit them, but this is a kobold who, and this isn't something you'd usually see, appears to be dressed to impress at the end. And you're being marched down this long corridor by them.
Alright. I'm waiting until we get up to where we're supposed to be, I guess.
Alright, so you guys get led up to the front, and this kobold in the finery looks at you and goes, "And who have you brought to the Queen of Kobolds?"
Alright, is she talking to them or us?
She's looking at you.
We were brought here by your mighty warriors. We do not wish you any harm. We just are looking for another group that may have passed by here.
At this point, the guards behind you kind of start approaching you and shoving you by your shoulders down to your knees. Do any of you resist?
I will go down.
I'll you know.
I
don't
will.
want to die today.
How big are these kobolds?
Well, the kobolds aren't particularly big. They're about probably between 4 and 5 feet tall.
I'll fall to my knees. Whatever.
Alright, you go to your knees. And the one in the finery looks to you and looks to the guard and says, "What have they done to be brought in such a unfriendly manner? I thought I told you to be kind to our guests." And the guard looks back and goes, "This one, threw his axe in Meepo." He goes, "Oh, how brutish. Well, he was probably overdue that anyway. He's not been the most useful of my servants. So, group, what are you here for?"
As I mentioned, we are only here to see if there was a group of other adventurers that came here not too long ago. They were supposed to come here a few weeks ago, and they have not been back.
Yes, there was, yes. Awfully nice, awfully nice. I like that dwarven girl. Very polite. They undertook a job that I offered them. I found it unusual that they strolled down here, but they said that they'd come to secure the premises, which of course is ridiculous, as this is my domain. But we have our own problems down here, and I hired them.
You hired them to do what exactly?
Oh, well, to deal with the bloody goblins, of course. They were most frightful, have been raiding us, and we've been skirmishing, and, well, we managed to hold our own until recently. They caused us a lot of casualties, but more importantly, they stole someone very precious to us.
Kobolds and goblins don't like each other.
They don't. Have you met our kind before?
Never.
Can't say I've had the pleasure.
Then you haven't heard of Queen Yusdrael. That's who you stand before.
It's a pleasure.
Well,
How about a deal?
Oh, well, darling, it seems like I'm in the position to be making deals here. What would you propose?
We kill the goblins. You leave the premises.
Oh, a haughty ask for one in your position. I'll tell you what. Killing the goblins would hardly annoy me. In fact, it may even win you my famous favor, but I require something else. You may kill the goblins, and doing so will earn you the reward, but we need something back. Something they took from us.
Yes, the thing you had mentioned, the thing that is dear to you.
Yes. Meepo, the chap that you rather, well, met when you first entered our realm. Truth be told, we would have cut you to bits. However, my subjects are under instruction to be patient with such things. For we need your help. Meepo was guarding our sacred dragon, who has been stolen from us in a matter most painful. The goblins keep him, but they do not know the holiness of the dragon, and I'm sure they have him locked up in some nightmarish environment.
Wait, is this a full-blown dragon, or is it like a wee sculpture of a dragon?
Oh, I assure you, he's quite real.
Whoa.
How big's the dragon?
Well, he is a young dragon, this is true, but we were blessed to find him close to his birth, and have raised him since he was young. He is not fully fledged yet, but when he is, I'm sure he will be ready to be our most gracious deity. And at this point, you see the guards behind you kind of nod their heads.
Dragon's not our problem then. If it's with you, we can get it.
Sorry, do you mean you will get the dragon for me?
Yes.
Oh my. We would consider leaving this place. Should we have our sacred dragon back, I'm sure we can find alternative accommodation.
Well, we can certainly. Sorry.
Well, I was going to say it sounds like a win for all. If that happened.
I mean, it's our best bet at this point.
Well, did you send the other group that came before us after?
Oh, yes, I did. But I fear they may have ignored the task at hand. We heard reports from our scouts of terrible skirmishes happening in the goblin camp, and it wasn't us, so I would imagine whatever happened, they are to be found in the goblins. We do not have them.
I see.
How many goblins are we talking here?
Oh, well, quite a great deal. That is why I do not send you simply to kill them, but to retrieve the dragon. For if we have the dragon, the goblins will stand no chance. I'm sure he'll come round to our viewpoint.
Well, if there's nothing else, I grew tired of negotiations.
What is your dragon?
Would you rather not have your
funny.
head?
You know, I've beheaded people for less. Oh, there is something as well. I must insist, much to my chagrin, that Meepo must be healed from the wound you have so grievously inflicted upon him. And you must take him with you. He is our dragon handler, and he knows it best.
I
Must come with us.
Oh, well, unless you fancy handling a dragon yourself.
All right.
That's a fair point, actually. I mean, what do they eat?
Oh, well, we're hoping
Presumably
goblins.
us.
Probably
Typically,
us.
we
Yeah.
feed them goblins or kobolds that misbehave.
Oh boy. All right. He may
Or
come.
brutish
With us.
half-orcs that throw axes at my subjects.
A question though. Keep in mind that if this is as dangerous as you say, that Meepo may be in danger of, being harmed.
Oh, that's fine.
Just making sure.
Yes, do
I'll
you have
heal him.
means of healing? Oh, you do! Marvelous.
Aye.
Well, get him back on his feet and, maybe apologize about the axe. Although he's a affable fellow, yellow-bellied, but wouldn't cause any problems. And take him with you. He'll be useful.
I'll do
Alright.
my best.
Now, we have had scouts looking for the dragon, but we haven't found it yet. Hopefully, he can find the way.
Do you know approximately where the goblins are located?
Oh yes, the goblins are to the north. They inhabit, well, most of the complex to the north, really. Terrible lot. They might be less friendly than us, but, use what means you must. The dragon is what matters.
Understood.
What is the dragon's name?
Calcrix. I warn you, dragons are to be held in the highest esteem. Do not, and they may see fit to punish you.
Noted.
Extremely noted.
Perhaps allow
Alright.
Meepo to do the talking.
All right, we shall go collect Meepo and be
If
on
he's
our
still
way, I
alive.
suppose.
Yes, go scoop him off the floor and take him with you. Come back when you're done.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Oh, my.
Well, that's
That
good.
is nice.
Curry favour.
Ooh.
I barely get that off
I've
the
been
ones
around
here.
nobles before, don't worry.
You do have a certain decorum. I love your jacket. Very nice. I took this off a
Right.
previous adventurer.
Ah,
Once I
you're
sewed up
fi-
the stab holes, it was beautiful.
You have a fine eye.
Thank you. You would do well at my court.
We shall be going.
Very well. Go find what's left of Meepo.
Okay.
Alright.
As we saunter off, I
So
guess.
the guards kind of let you up. You brush yourselves off and you go back to where Meepo's lying on the floor, and some of the crowds of kobolds have dispersed.
As we go back to Meepo, I look at Vike and be like, good thing you didn't outright kill the man.
Yeah, you only took him to 1 HP, it's fine. Alright. You take yourselves back to Meepo, and you find a couple of kobolds hunched over him, kind of stemming the flow of the blood, and he's kind of still, I don't feel well.
I don't feel so good.
As you're going in. What would you like
I
to
can
do?
give him a healing potion and give him mine.
Very well.
Sure.
You give him the healing potion. You basically have to force feed him it. He's very weak right now. As it goes down his throat, you see the wounds sort of scarify up and stop bleeding, and eventually comes back in line with the rest of his skin, but with a deep, deep scar in his shoulder from your axe.
It's alright, Meeple. From what I understand, the ladies like scars.
Oh, well, that sounds handy. I've got enough from Calcrix. And he kind of shows you his arms, and you notice there's just a million, like, teeth and scratch marks on him.
Sorry, what was that name? Calcric.
Calcrix.
Calcrix.
Calcryx.
So
My
Meepo-
apologies. I mistook you for an enemy.
Oh, it's understandable. Our recent, well, Queen calls it parlay with the adventurers is quite new. Yes, don't hit me again, please.
Meepo,
Yes?
I have a question for you. So this dragon, you will be able to talk to it, and it will be friendly to us.
Oh, well, yeah, Calcrix and I like to think we have a working rapport. You know, we got it down to him trying to kill me, you know, only a few times a week, really.
I see.
Yeah, well, you know, obviously dragons are holy and all that, but when you spend a lot of time around them, they're also really scary, and they don't like being in cages.
Why would you cage your deity? That seems a little weird.
Well, because otherwise, you know, he doesn't exactly see himself as that yet. We're hoping age brings him a bit of maturity, and he takes on his role. Because right now he doesn't really want to be in the cage.
Did they mention what color dragon he was?
But they did not.
What color dragon is is he, Meepo?
What colour dragon is Meepo? He's white. He's a white dragon.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
Okay,
he's
well.
very majestic.
I can imagine so. The queen said that you know approximately where we should be going.
Yeah, I've heard from patrols that they've took him to the north a bit. Quite a lot of goblins up that way. Not that keen to deal with them.
Is there an easier way around them by any chance, or do we just have to go through?
Oh yeah, there's some. Well, I don't know if we'll manage to avoid all of them, but Meepo knows the way, more or less.
Well, I guess we have no choice really, alright guys? I mean, what else do we have to do here?
Aye, let's do it. Eh?
I mean, if we're going to recover that group, or at least find out what happened to them, we got to kind of go into the belly of the beast, so
Yeah,
to
that
speak.
other group was sent after Calcrix as well, actually. They mustn't have met him, though. They'd have been back if they did. I think. Problem is, they didn't have old Meepo there.
Why didn't they send you with the other group?
Can you believe this? They didn't want me.
No.
Such a shame.
a hard job, but it's thankless as well. That's the really tough bit.
The fact that you aren't dead says something about you.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's something. I mean, I feel like
There's
I was
a-
dead a minute ago, but
There's a decent chance the people that we're going after are dead as well. We're gonna need to. We might have to make a choice while we're there between this dragon and them,
Well, we'll cross that bridge if we come to it.
of course.
Yeah. Meepo, do you have anything to defend yourself with?
oh, I've got this, and he kind of rummages in his like loincloth and pulls out what appears to be like a rudimentary sling.
Whoa.
He's like, I
What?
don't really bother carrying pebbles. There's quite a lot around.
Where did? Okay. Yep. All right. Sounds good.
All
Make
right.
sure you have that on hand.
Yeah, I'm gonna be at the back.
Okay.
I was where things best. You see.
Oh, he's a man of tactics.
Well, when you're ready, we'll get off, and that's where we'll take a short break. All right. So, as we return, Garrick, you have ritual cast your heal. What spell was it you were casting? Sorry,
It was
he said that he's going to
healing.
ritual cast it after I said there's a break. That's fine.
Just healing word.
Okay, so you ritual cast healing word. You'd like to roll your healing?
Hey, max healing.
Nice.
7 healing,
Oh.
even though I don't need that much.
Probably like 100% of your HP.
That pretty much is.
All right. So if you're ready, Meepo goes, oh, whoa, the way the goblin bit is it's up this way. And he runs up to this door right at the northeast of the chamber. I assume you're all going to follow him.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's scurrying around pretty quickly. He opens this door, doesn't seem to have any fear of what's inside. As he continues on down this corridor. It leads to just... It's a winding corridor, quite a long one that gets thinner at parts, but eventually it leads you just to a singular door at its end. And he quickly opens that as well and scurries through it, and he turns back around and goes, Come on. We're getting into some goblin territory soon, so be careful, but for the next little bit, we should be okay. And then he opens the door. However, the room that he opens it into isn't quite as plain as the others, in fact. It has a curious statue on one side of it. That you realize as you enter the room is actually a fountain. However, it's completely dry. And dust and bits of, stony debris and rubble are scattered within the floor of the fountain. It's very ornate, though. It's cracked and stained, but its carving of a dragon, you now notice after Garrick taught you what a dragon is very, very nicely done, if not for the, years of wear and tear, essentially. However, there is a relief on the western wall as well, which you then look at and realize is a door. But there's also an open space to the north. So, what would you like to do?
Meeple, what's the story with that fountain there?
I didn't even know it was a fountain. Or was a statue. That's why we like this place. It's lots of dragony things. It seems to be quite a holy site, the Queen says.
Has anyone ever poked around at that fountain?
Oh, I don't know.
Alright. Which way now?
Well, it's up. I think to the goblin bit, it's up. I'm not. I think it's up. I think it's up.
Want to get behind us, Meepo?
I would love to. So you just moving on, or?
I suppose we are moving on.
All right. So you guys move onwards into the corridor that follows, and you notice that's not my reveal tool. You notice that it kind of branches out and it goes on for quite a way, it seems. You notice lots of rooms opening off of it later on, but there's also a door to your left before you get into this long corridor full of rooms. Once again, the rubble and the decay is quite bad in this part of the fortress. There are mounds of stones around most of the wall, but there's still a clear way through.
Meepo, would you happen to know what way we have to go?
Well, I think it's left. That's where we pushed them back here once. They fled to the left.
I suppose we can check it out. There's a door, you said?
Yeah,
Can I go up to the door?
you can go up to the door.
Just a normal door.
It is a normal door.
Can I put my ear to it to see if there is something on the other side?
Sure, make a perception check.
14.
Appears to be silence.
Whilst Kaelin's listening to the door, can I take a peek further down this corridor to the north?
Sure.
Just to see if I can
You
see
see a similar-looking fountain to the north, actually.
Oh, like similar to the dragon one.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Interesting. Oh, I look to the group. I'm like, what do you guys think? Should we go through here or go check out the
You both
north?
said to the left. That makes
Well-
sense to go that way.
I'm a little bit curious as to what's the deal here.
What do you mean?
Well, who made these fountains?
I'm assuming whoever had the fort before the kobolds and the goblins, right? I mean, it used to be an actual fort.
Aye. Good point, actually.
For what, I am not sure. And the fact that there's a lot of dragon-related things is a little unsettling, but I mean, I'm assuming it has some sort of history.
All right. Okay, let's go left.
We should follow the guide.
All right, may I open the door on the left?
You may. You're just opening it whole hog.
I will open it whole hog.
Excellent. You swing the door open, you go in. It's just an empty chamber once again, scattered with debris. This one's quite large, though. It's probably about 20 by 20 feet. And once again, the mold and the damp air and the debris meets you, but nothing especially that catches the eye.
Onward,
Aye.
then.
You all going into that room?
Yeah.
All right.
Can I look around the room to see
Sure,
if there's
make me a perception check.
any like tracks of like goblins or any or traces, sorry, of goblins?
All right, make me. Do you want to check for tracks, or you just want to have a general look?
Well, I want to like see like if basically like if there's any signs that goblins would have been here or anything else would have gone through here, I guess. But
Okay. Make me a perception check.
I rolled a 7.
You're not quite sure. There are some markings on the floor. It does look like there's been activity in here, but it's kind of hard to distinguish what it is.
I feel as though we should be a bit more careful as or at least keep an eye out for things that may give us hints to where the goblins might be. I would hate for us to walk into a blockade of goblins.
From what the
Aye.
queen said, there's going to be a lot of them.
Exactly. I
Perhaps
would
we
rather
should-
avoid.
Well, I was going to say, perhaps we should move a bit quietly going out.
Yeah, try to avoid as many as we can.
All right. You guys stealthing?
Let's
Yes.
stealth.
Yes.
Okay, everyone roll stealth.
Eric
for me.
is going to try.
Do you have heavy armor? You both have disadvantage?
Yep.
Meepo is
I
also
believe-
going to roll a stealth, by the way.
I believe scale
Um,
mail gives disadvantage.
It does, yes.
Yeah, I also have disadvantage as well because of chainmail.
Do
I
any of
will,
us ever get past without a trace by any chance?
I mean, you're like the main spellcaster of that kind, so if you don't, there's pretty much no way they do.
Well, I can't now, but I don't even
Maybe
know if I get that
eventually.
spell as a bard.
Okay, that's an 8 and a natural 1.
I also nat one.
Nice. I'm not.
Why-
Vike's not really the stealthy kind anyway. He was never really even buying into the stealthy plan.
Are you guys for
I
real?
rolled a 7.
Oh my lord.
Oh my god. I rolled a 14.
Okay,
He didn't even do that well.
so as you're making your way to this
That's actually a
door
low roll for me.
in the northern wall of the room, you kind of stop as you reach the door. Except you don't all stop in time, and you just hear Vike collide with Rurik in just a
Smash.
clang of like Rurik's scale mail clangs, and there's just jingling from all the chainmail flying around.
By
And
Torn,
it's
be
quite
careful!
It's quite a racket in this enclosed room.
You guys are like a bull in a china shop.
Heavens above.
Okay. I guess we go to the other door.
All right. What are you doing? Are you just going straight in?
Are we going straight in, boys? I would assume.
Whole hog.
Yes.
It's not like we are being very,
Careful.
quiet. Yeah.
Yes, I agree. Your talking has been rather loud.
Okay, as you swing this door open, A loud bell rings,
Oh god, it's Vikaru.
and as you do, 2 goblin heads pop up over this wall at the end, and you now notice that the floor is littered with these spiky metal caltrops. I'd like you all to roll initiative.
For God's
Bugger.
sakes!
Bugger me. Hey, that's not a terrible initiative.
Alright, let me open the turn tracker.
We are
for you.
never going to be able to stealth anything ever.
Sorry, let me just remove all the turns so you guys can add yourselves again.
We are Chief Beef.
I wonder if I do get past without trace. Let me check.
I mean, we are just whole hog all the time. Like,
Also,
no,
Vake
Hog.
isn't even here. He's back. He's way back there.
yeah, I wasn't really keeping like too much track of where we were going because I figured eventually we'd get to the end and I'd just move myself then.
Alright.
So I rolled a 9 on initiative.
I rolled a 15.
Can
For
you
those-
guys add yourselves turns? Or do I have to do that?
Nope.
Okay, I'll add it for you. You can fill it in now.
Thank you.
Roll for the goblins as well. I'll roll a turn for Meepo. Oof. Good boy, goblins. Rolling an 18 on initiative.
Youch.
And Meepo rolls a 7.
Classic Meepo.
Right, Kaylin, you need to add your initiative.
Sorry, I had added it earlier.
That's alright.
There we go.
Okay. So we're going to go descending. There's not a surprise round as these goblins did pop up after you were in the room, so you kind of were aware something's going on by the bell. However, they are first anyway. So these 2 guys are going to peek over with short bows, and Kaylin, you were going in first, right?
I guess.
Alright. In that case, they're going to attack you. First one is a 14.
Yeah, that hits.
Alright. Let me check the damage on this.
Galen, why are you going in first?
I don't know because you guys don't.
Yes, I refuse to go in first. That's what I said. Those exact words.
Kaylin, you take 4 points of piercing damage. And the second one's going to fire at you, and that is a 12.
No.
Okay. They take 4 points of piercing damage. However, as you are running in the room whole hog,
I didn't run into the room. I just opened the door.
you specifically use the term whole hog, and I take whole hog very seriously. So,
That's not fair.
you have to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Fine. 12.
Okay, you immediately step on a caltrop and take 1
Ow.
point of piercing damage in the foot.
Ah, my foot.
However, you are now in the room. So we'll put you in the room.
Fine.
Alright, how far do you go, by the way? Your movement is reduced by 10 feet, but you can still keep moving if you wish.
I'm not going anywhere.
Alright. Because it is your turn.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to exit the room
Alright.
because I don't want to be in the line of fire. I'm going to kind of peek around the edge and kind of try to get a snipe off with my bow.
Okay, make a shot.
If I can. Natural 20!
Jeez.
Roll that damage.
Natural 20.
This is a second bow shot. I've taken a second natural 20.
Yeah, you rolled 2 20s on your bow. Damn.
My bow is weighted. Ooh. 14 damage on
Alright, which one would you like to shoot at?
the left one, I guess.
Alright,
Sorry, I
you
forgot to
peek
pick.
around the door and you just fire off a shot as soon as you peek around. And whether it be talent or luck or somewhere in between, it just appears to sink deep into the eye socket of the goblin. You hear just a "Ah!" and it just immediately flops over backwards out of sight behind the wall.
Does a Wilhelm scream?
It does.
Oh!
And it's dead.
Okay, and then I will use the rest of my movement to kind of go hide behind the wall so I'm not in the range of
Alright.
fire.
As you're moving, your foot does still hurt. It's clearly done some damage to your foot.
Ow, my foot.
Alright.
Alright, I'm done.
Galric, you're up.
Can I see the other goblin?
Not right now. Well, not from where you're standing. You'd have to go up to the door frame, I would say. And he
I
is
will
going to be in
stand.
cover, bear in mind.
I will stand there.
Alright.
And I will cast myself another Sacred Flame.
Okay.
Let's go. Oh, good. Natural 2. Roll
That
a 7.
doesn't hit, I'm afraid.
All right. Yeah. That's it
for me, I guess. I back up. So I at least can still see the goblin, if that's possible.
Okay, yeah, you can still see him from there. He's a distant target and he's ducking behind a wall, but you can see him. Alright,
Yeah.
Rurik, you're up.
Okay, I would like to move around here like that and attempt to throw a javelin at the rightmost goblin.
Go for
Oh
it.
boy.
What's the range on a javelin?
It's 30 feet for just normal.
Okay.
But I rolled in that one.
Brilliant. You just take a step forward and you just try to hurl this javelin, but you overthrow and it just clatters into the stone in front of you and skitters along.
Oh, Vike, you put me off! And, I've used all my movement, no bonus action, so that ends my turn.
Alright. Vike, you're up.
I'll give Rurik a slow side eye.
Don't look at me, look at them!
I will take.
You almost went Viashino there for a second.
No!
I will take one step forward into the room.
Okay. Dexterity saving throw, please.
Sure.
Dodging those caltrops.
Oh no, not this again.
Get a dice tray!
Get
Yeah, let me.
Get a
Want me just
bowl
to
or
go
something.
buy one in the
Yeah,
meet in like that
mid-session,
small
go get
break?
a dice tray.
That's a 3.
Yeah, okay, you take 1 point of piercing damage as a caltrop digs its way into your foot, and it's very painful to stand on.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and throw my hand axe at the far one.
Alright,
That is a 22.
that certainly hits.
Okay. 7 points of slashing damage on that one.
Alright, so the axe digs its way deep into him, and you can see him stand up just about, and then just collapse to the floor and slump in a pile, as it looks like your axe did the job. Alright, the goblins seem to be vanquished for now.
Okay. Does it look like without any threats present, we could take our time and kind of slowly snake our way through these
Yes, I'll allow you
caltrops?
to kind of kick the caltrops out of the way. But bear in mind that Kalen and Vike, you currently have a caltrop dug in your foot.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead.
Move it.
I'm gonna take a second and like get that out of my foot. Make sure my foot's okay.
Sure, I mean, you guys remove the caltrops from your foot, but it's obvious that there's some damage dealt to the bottom of it. And until you receive some sort of healing or medical aid, your movement's going to be impaired.
I will heal myself with healing word.
Alright, you cast Healing Word. Would you like to roll your healing?
I would. You can keep going.
I'll say, as you cast Healing Word, you do see the wound close up on your foot, and it finally, the feeling returns instead of just the burning pain.
Ooh, 6 HP.
Whilst
And the
they're
movement is restored.
expecting their wounds, I'll just start brushing the caltrops to the
Okay.
edge.
You kind of carefully go through just dinging the caltrops away to the edge of the room.
Cheeky wee gobbles, eh? Traps. An underhanded tactic.
See, I told you we would have to be careful for them.
Well, you just threw yourself through that door.
Yeah.
You stepped on one of them.
For God's sakes, you blame me when I do anything, and then you blame me when I do something. I can never do anything right.
It's
How
'cause
about
do
you
both
learn
things poorly?
Moderation.
Did you also see
Control.
how I sniped that global right in the face?
And
You
that
have
was pretty
talent.
good, actually.
You have lots of talent, but no restraint. You're either all the way in or all the way out. Make up your mind.
Whatever, just get these caltrops out of the way. Let's keep going.
Yeah, I'll help Rurik disperse the rest of the caltrops.
Okay, you guys sweep the caltrops to the side of the room. There's a clear path through the room now. Up to the it's a very short wall. It's only about 2 feet off the ground that the goblins were hiding behind.
Can I attempt to recover my failed javelin throw?
Yeah, you can. It looks like it didn't sustain any damage from clattering into the stones. You
Lovely.
pick it up, put it back in your quiver.
Yeah, as we walk by, I'll take my axe out of the goblin too.
You pull the hand axe back out, makes a lovely squelching, crunching noise. You pull it out of the goblin's crumpled form, but yeah, also seems fine.
I'd like to
Back
see
in
if
the
there's
wall.
anything on the goblins.
Sure, make an investigation check.
I'm not good at those. Great. I rolled 17. Sweet.
All right. Yeah, there's a little bit of there's about 4 silver between the two of them. Other than that, some very rudimentary weaponry. They both had short bows and sort of crude spears with rough iron heads on top. That's about it.
I take the silver.
Okay.
Now, this is up to you. As we're walking along, would you be okay with me using my second wind out of combat? I don't really know how second wind works.
Sure,
Like,
but you wouldn't
in
be
that-
able to use it until you're
Rest.
you have a rest.
You mean use it again after this, right?
Yeah, until you have a short rest.
But I can use it right now, right?
Yes, you can. Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
I'll allow that.
that's okay.
Okay, you kind of summon up your reserves and just will yourself to power through the injury to your foot, and yeah, as you've done a couple times before, you manage to summon up the muster and convince your foot to ignore the pain for now. It's a hard roll, but you convince the foot.
Bury that shit deep
So-
down.
A tough
Exactly.
negotiation. All right. Healed 3. Oh yeah.
All right, shall we?
Yeah, so
Move on?
yeah,
Meepo, are
we're-
you okay back there?
Oh, I'm fine. I was just watching, to be honest.
Good.
You're all right.
Yeah, we'll survive.
All
for
right.
now.
Well, some of the goblins killed. That's good. That's good. Okay. We'll keep going. It's round this way. We're clearly in the goblin bit now. I don't know where they've took Calcrix though.
I'm assuming probably somewhere like of importance. They would not leave the dragon anywhere probably unguarded or in somewhere vulnerable.
I think you're
I
probably
would imagine.
right. Yeah.
Because I mean, they would have to restrain the thing. Wouldn't the thing just kill them if they wasn't restrained?
Oh. Well, yeah. I mean, you can lock it up somewhere. That's what we did. I mean, we held it in highest esteem. We did, but you know, yeah, we did also put it in a cage.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep going, shall we?
Okay. Well, it'll be this way, I guess. And he kind of gestures towards the door, very deliberately, not approaching himself.
right, perhaps you should come up with like an action plan for all doors. Like,
How about
Open-
how about I don't go through first?
right, what about
Right.
open suddenly or quickly and fully, but don't step through until you can see what's on the other side.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
The thing is, though, is think about this way. If we end up going to the room where all the goblins are, and we just whack open the door, and there's like 65 goblins, we're gonna be in a big trouble.
All right,
would be in
well,
big trouble if there
okay.
were 65 goblins.
Surely we would hear 65 goblins.
I'm just saying, make sure to take proper precaution before you swing a door open full of ham or whatever you called it.
What, you mean like
That
what
one, yeah.
you mean like you just did a second ago?
Yes, like that.
I listen at the door. I rolled a 16. No, I rolled a 19.
Alright. There's some vague noise coming from inside. It's hard to discern what. You're not quite sure. But it appears though there is some activity in the room.
I
What do you
whisper,
mean?
there's something in there. I hear something.
Like what? Like running water?
I'm not sure
Voices?
what. I can't.
Voices.
Can I discern? No.
No. You like it's yeah, you can hear like a low sort of chattering, but you can't discern actual voices.
I'm not sure if it's voices or not. But be on your guard.
Could very well be more goblins.
Well, what if we just kick the door down and try to take them by surprise very quickly? Go in.
Well, maybe just open the door quickly rather than kick it down. Because what if you mess up the first kick and, you know, then it's just embarrassing and they get a chance to prepare.
That's
Heavens
just a loud
forbid.
knock.
I like the way you think, Rurik.
Oh, thanks.
Once again, though, what if we kick down this door and there's 65 goblins in this room?
Well, this is the only way we can go. So,
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
We could open it nicely and not very loud to see what we are dealing with.
And just hope that none of the 65 are facing the door.
Either way, we're screwed, aren't we?
When
not?
they're arguing, I just throw the door open if I can.
Alright,
as quickly as I can.
yeah. You swing the door open. It kind of hits the back wall with a resounding like dong, and the chattering increases in volume, and you can hear footsteps. What would you like to do?
Let's go in. I step in.
Okay, where are you going in? You can move your token.
Okay. So I guess I will walk up to where this bend in the wall is, and I will look around.
Alright, as you look around, you are met with another face. The face of a goblin. He suddenly looks at you and goes, "Oh! Who are you? How'd you get through the others?"
I quickly try to grab him and pull him around the wall.
He's nowhere near close enough to. He's 10 feet away from you.
Oh, okay. Well, then I will just run at him.
Alright. In that case, I would
Initiative.
let you all roll initiative. And Vate,
Yep,
as you run around, you see 2 more goblins in the room to the right.
Okay.
Is
What-
that like
Oh, more
a is
goblins,
that like a
sorry.
bank? Are they like on a higher platform?
Yeah,
or
there's
is
like
that...
a small ledge going up, yeah.
Okay. Da-da-da-da.
Okay.
Ooh.
Not bad.
Yeah, you can all just edit your turns in the existing.
Yeah.
You should keep that up.
Yeah, it's way easier. Alright, the goblins low rolled. They rolled a 5 on their initiative.
I rolled an 11.
Meepo, let's see what old Meepo does.
He goes first. He goes
Meepo rolls
first.
a 20.
Hey!
Hey, Meepo. Show us how it's done, Meepo.
Meepo's
He
like
knows.
really ready to go
People
to
gonna run
stand
the
in
other
that
way
corner.
and get hit by caltrops.
Have you all put your initiatives in?
Yep.
Yes.
Alright.
Yeah.
In that case, we'll start out with Meepo. Meepo goes, "Oh, is something happening round there?" He kind of says to you, Garrick and Rurik in front of you.
Aye, maybe stay back, Meepo, just in case.
Yeah, I think you can go first, yeah. Alright. I'm gonna move 5 feet backwards, and I'll have my turn. Alright, have fun,
Don't want
guys.
to hold your action, Meepo.
No, I don't need an action. I'm a humble kobold.
Okay. Now, is there like enough space for me to move?
Yes, you can run past Garrick and go in.
Okay.
The
All the way
corridor
in,
is quite wide. It's like 6 feet wide. Like, Mike's a big boy. Not that much of a big boy. You can run past him.
All right. I'll just hoof it past him and then swing at this goblin with my warhammer.
Give it to him. Give
Ooh,
him the
that's a
business.
19 total.
That certainly hits.
Okay, and that deals 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
Alright, so you smash into him and you just catch him under the ribcage. You can hear the wind leave him just this as he just stumbles backwards. But he just about manages to regain his bearings with his sword and focus on you.
All right, that ends my turn.
Alright, Vike, you're up.
Okay. In the same way that there was enough room for him to get around me, I assume there's enough room for me to get around
You
him.
could go around the far side of him, but I'm assuming Rurik is like by the wall.
Okay, so you're saying if I were to do something like, if I were to go around this way,
Yeah.
like what exactly is this in front of
So
me?
you now look at those, and they're actually target dummies that you can see have been pelted with arrows and spears.
How much of like that 5 foot space do they occupy?
You
Could
wouldn't
I
be able to get between that and the goblin where they are.
Okay.
There's several javelins sticking out that like
Um,
impede your movement, essentially.
I guess we'll just start off with I'll swing at this goblin first, and then I'll reassess after.
All right.
That is a 11.
That. Ooh, let me check. That does not hit.
Okay. Second axe then for a 22.
That certainly hits.
Okay. For 7 points of slashing damage.
That'll do it. So you swing your axe, and the first one is as he's recoiling from the blow of the warhammer, and he just perfectly lines himself up for your next one, which just cleaves his skull in half as he just crumples to the floor.
Okay. Is there room for me to kind of diagonal through here
I'll
now?
allow you to like run past his body, essentially. Yeah.
Okay. I still have, I believe, 15 feet of movement left.
Yep, that would be right.
Can probably get. I forget how to do the fancy thing where you show
You
your
press
movement as
space
you go.
every time you're going.
Or right
Oh,
click. You tap right
Alright.
click is what I do.
So something like that. I don't know if it works or not. I have no idea.
That works.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, and then I will into my turn there.
All right. Halen, you're up.
I will run into the room.
Very good.
I'll go park beside. Actually, can I make it here? Let me see. Just make sure that I can do this. 10, 25. If I go here, can I see this goblin over here?
I
Where's
would
the wall in my
say that you could lean and peek around the wall, just about.
Okay.
Bear in mind
so
that goblin is behind a low wall and will have some cover benefit.
That's fine. I'm gonna try to take a sharp bow shot at that little goblin.
All right, take a shot.
10.
All right, so Rurik, an arrow goes whistling past your ear and straight into the wall in front of you.
Careful, careful.
Garrick, I'm assuming that's the end of your turn. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Garrick, you're up.
I'm going to walk up, see if I can stand next to Rorik here.
Yep.
I'll allow it.
I assume I can also see maybe both goblins in this
You
case.
can see both goblins where you are, yes.
And I again will try to get the light to burn them with Sacred Flame.
By the light.
I rolled a 14.
That just hits, yes.
Hey.
Nice.
Wait, which one are you aiming for?
The one closest to me.
Okay, that one has half cover, so that doesn't hit. I'm afraid.
Damn.
Ooh,
Alright.
debated.
Mind me.
Got him. All right.
Yeah.
Got him with the old fake goblin routine. So which one are you going for?
Can't travel much anymore, so I'll end my turn there.
All right,
You can step over that goblin's body if you want to.
goblin turns.
Nah.
We're gonna. So these goblins are both gonna run and just hop over the little wall and stand next to you, Vake.
I
And
couldn't have
they
done
are
that when I was
going
attacking.
Or Vike even, I apologize. And they are both going to attack you.
Okay.
So, one of them's got a scimitar, one of them's got a dagger. The one with the scimitar is going to swing towards you for a 16.
16 is just hits.
All right, and that is going to be, that's going to be 7 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
That's an owie. All right.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Um,
Oof.
The
Oof.
one to the
Oof.
left of you with his dagger, he's going to swing up, and that is going to that's going to be a 5. Going to assume that doesn't hit you.
Okay. Whew. Yeah.
And then both of these goblins are going to take they're going to nimbly move backwards, disallowing you an attack of opportunity.
Oh, the
And
cheeky buggers.
I've been a goblin, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And,
the disengage.
that is going to end their turn. Meepo, you're up. I'm alright. Okay, Rurik, you're up.
His inner monologue, he's like,
All right.
Rurik, you're up. Alright.
So I'm going to. Well, can I? Sorry, actually, this is going to look like I'm moving 30 feet, but I'm only moving 20. Can I move up that ledge easily, or is it?
Yeah, I would say. You're tall.
Like, yeah, because I've got 5 feet.
You can make me like a. I would say it's not high enough to be acrobatic, so you make me an athletics check if you want to try and vault it. I'll allow that.
Sure, why not?
All right.
Let's see what happens. It'll be fun anyway.
go for it, Dwarfy.
You now won.
Oh.
Oh no.
Okay,
Friends.
you go to vault it, and you put your hands on it. You know, your hand holding your sword. You kind of forget you're holding your sword, so you put it on fist first and try swinging both your legs over to basically double kick the wall and fall prone at its feet. So you can have the snail of prone.
Hey.
All right,
That was spectacular.
and that ends your turn as well. Like your turn.
Oh my god. Rick, you are something else.
I imagine that is exactly how it would go if Craig tried to vault that wall in real life. You'd like hot fuzz yourself through it.
If you can't go over the wall, try to go through it.
Oh man.
Alright, Mike, you've just seen Rurik cannonball a wall in front of you. What would you like to do?
Oh man, I'm just gonna. Christ. So I don't know how this would work. You can tell me. Vike's a pretty big guy. If he tries to hop this wall right where this goblin is, what would happen?
You would be unable to do so as your landing would be blocked. You could try jumping over it, I guess. I would say if you want to jump into the same square as them, they would probably get to attack you, as you would almost certainly not stick
Okay,
around.
if I get enough of a running start, is it possible that I could maybe jump over?
With an acrobatics check, you're welcome to try.
Oh no.
Would I be able to use athletics, or is it just purely?
We're gonna kill
You
ourselves
want to
jumping
jump
over
high
this
over
wall.
something? That's acrobatics.
Okay, well, I guess I won't do that. So I'm gonna move up to the wall. I'm like
This wall's
6.
like 2 feet. You can attack
Okay,
over this wall.
I was gonna say I'm like 6'6". Can I just swing over the
you
wall?
can swing over the wall, yes.
Okay, I'm like trying to like math and angles how to jump over this wall, and it's actually just like a little hedge wall the whole time, which makes it even funnier. I think. Oh man, Craig, what are we gonna do with you? Oh,
I mean,
well.
Rurik is a dwarf, so it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, Rurik's
like
4 feet
waist
tall.
high.
You're 25,
Well, yeah, I know. It's
so...
still just it's very comical because he's such a burly dwarf. Anyway, 23.
23 certainly hits.
Okay, and then I'll go to damage for that one first. That is 5 points of slashing damage on the first one.
So your axe, you swing over the wall, you manage to get the angle down, and it just cuts into the arm. It seems to almost carve part of the arm away as this goblin with the scimitar just starts screaming out.
And I will go ahead and swing with the second one. Less good, but still a 15.
15 hits.
Okay, for 7 points of damage.
And the second axe straight in the throat just silences the scream immediately. And that goblin drops to the floor.
Would you be okay with me stepping into that space now, or would you say that the other goblin would attack me?
Crumpled goblin body on the floor. I think you find it hard to find
that's too much. I'll just move to the left, and in my turn.
Okay. Kaylin, you're up.
I will move up to the wall here. I'm gonna try to peek over and shoot the goblin again with my bow.
Okay, you peek around the wall and have a little shot.
15.
That hits.
Yay. Sorry, I forgot my damage on my bow here. Oh, nice. Minimum damage. 4 damage.
Oh, alright. The arrow thunks into the side of the goblin, but he seems too fixated in sheer terror on Vike, having carved his friend to notice. But a small yelp escapes. Garrett. Sorry, do you want to do something else?
Yeah, well, I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Healing Word on Vike.
Okay.
Since I saw him take quite a few hits from that little gobo.
Thank you. That bugger got me good.
Yeah, so I'm going to do that. You heal 5 damage. Or 5
nice. I'm like bleeding profusely from my kneecap.
Alright, and that's it.
Alright. Garrick, you're up.
I'm going to burlily walk my way up towards the wall and try to take a swing if I can.
I'll allow it. You can take a swing.
I'm a 4.5-foot dwarf. So.
However, they will benefit from cover because you are not as tall as Vike.
Sure. I don't think it matters. I rolled a 23.
Unsurprisingly, that does hit a goblin, yes.
Perfect.
Goblin.
Warhammer smash. 7 total damage.
Yep, Warhammer smash happens, and you just pulverize this goblin's head as he's still just staring up in abject terror. Unsurprisingly, makes a rather easy target. And he just crumples to the floor, lifeless. And that's them dealt with.
Is everyone okay?
I look down the hallway and I go, Meepo, it's safe.
Oh, yeah. Good job, team. He runs in after you.
I'll pick myself up off the floor.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Rurik stands up.
Rurik, are you alright? You look like you took quite a hit there.
It's alright. They called me the Bullet in the Oathkeeper.
I can see why.
Amazing. Alright. So you stand now in a long corridor that looks like it's used for archery practice with these target dummies at the back end. There is a couple of doors. There's a few doors actually coming off of this. One down near the targets, one up to the left, and one straight ahead. That's the wall.
Is there arrows on the floor since we're in an archery ring?
There are many arrows in the
May I pick up a couple of arrows?
You
and
certainly can.
Quiver?
So you refill your quiver. We'll say you just fill your quiver with arrows from the target dummies. They each had about 6 in. And as you're doing this, somebody make me a perception roll. You can debate amongst yourselves.
Well, I'll probably pick myself up, so someone else can do it.
I shall perception, if that's okay.
Yeah, I'm busy picking up arrows.
Ooh, great. I rolled an 11.
I'd say an 11's easy enough. This is pretty easy to pick up on. The room down near the target dummies, there's somebody knocking on the door and a shrill voice coming from inside.
Oh, let them in.
I will
Someone's
walk
knocking.
to the door. Well, actually, I guess I should say, do I? Or wait, you said it, right?
Someone's knocking on that door.
You hear a knocking on the door, yes, you do.
Who? Identify yourself.
Oh, wasn't expecting to speak common. Let us out.
They might be kobolds?
I say, do I recognize that as similar to the cadence I've heard with kobolds?
Yes.
Meepo, does that sound like your grandmother?
I don't know, my grandmother. My mum always called me a runt, though.
Oh.
I will try to open the door.
Alright. The door appears to be locked.
Kalen.
Can I search the dead goblins in this room?
You can. Make an investigation check.
All right. That's a ooh. That's an ooh. That's a 15.
All right. Yeah, you're rummaging around the goblins. You find about 6 silver in loose coins, just like they seem to have pilfered from perhaps adventurers previous.
I'm going to try to unlock the door.
And also, Craig, in the sort of tucked up in the cloths of one of the goblin archers at the back of the room, you actually find a silver flask, which you would recognize as being of dwarven make. And it looks like quite a fine piece. You imagine this would fetch a pretty penny at market.
How do we buggers get their hands on this? Well, mine now.
Alright, you tuck the flask away.
I'll tuck it away.
Very nice.
Can I try to unlock the door?
You certainly can.
10?
10 doesn't quite do. You're fumbling with the mechanism, but you can't quite get it there.
Aye. Sorry, guys. I got a little rattled in that last battle.
Why don't we let Vike bash this one's down if he's so eager to do it?
Perhaps we should tell the people
Show me how
behind
it's
us.
done, Vike.
I'll say to the other side. Stand back.
Alright, you gonna try breaking down the door? The strength
I
check?
will. Yeah. Straight strength roll.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that is a 15.
15 makes it. So you swing your axe into the door handle where the hinge is, and it just breaks clear off, and from there you can just put a foot on the door and smash it in. As you do see several kobolds kind of stagger back from the door, clearly not expecting that with a, oh, alright. And at the back you see what appears to be a gnome in a cage bolted to the wall. He goes, "Oh, thank God you found me. Oh,
I love it.
I've been in here for weeks."
I also hate it.
Who are you?
Well, that's not very nice. Who am
Who
I?
are you?
My name's Urky. Doesn't seem that relevant right now. Could you get me out of this thing?
What the hell are you doing here?
Well, not very much by the looks of it. I was captured by, well, as you might guess, the goblins. Didn't exactly get in here of my own will. But, I was just, having a poke around. And, well, now I'm in here.
Clearly. Meepo, can you deal with the kobolds and tell them where to
Oh, they'll
go?
know the way back. They probably got dragged here in the first place. You're right, lads. And then he starts speaking in this strange, guttural tongue, and lots of harsh, biting noises. And the other kobolds just kind of scurry out the room and disappear down the hallway.
Meepo. You recognize him?
He doesn't look like a kobold.
Is he part of the adventurers that were here previously?
No. No, that was an elf, a dwarf girl, and a human.
Okay.
I've never seen a female dwarf before.
They're quite the sight.
Don't they have beards or something?
Oh,
No.
no, I think that's a
That's a
stereotype.
common misconception.
That is a ridiculous thing to say.
Oh, what? That's what the legend is, or the myth.
The myth.
I don't know. That's what people say, isn't it?
Well, I would have thought living in the city, you'd probably have seen a female dwarf from time to time.
It's a rule is mostly humans, so we don't see very many dwarf there.
All right.
While this is happening, I guess I'll walk over to the cage.
Oh, thank God. Somebody stopped arguing about dwarves. Can you get me out of this thing, please?
No, but he can. And I'll point to Kalen.
Can I go see if the thing's locked?
You can.
And is it?
Could you
It is
imagine if
locked.
wasn't?
Imagine that. He'd be so embarrassed.
He's like, wait, the door opens?
Alright. Come on, buddy. Just unlock it.
I'll do what I can. All right, I'm gonna try to unlock it.
Alright.
13.
You're trying to fiddle with the mechanism. And again, it doesn't quite get there. It doesn't help that Urky's constant in your ear. Just, come on, buddy. Come on, give it a twist. Come on.
Would you shut up, please? It's hard to frickin' do things when you're
Hey,
in my face.
The big guy kicked down a door. Just rip this off.
Would you deal with this? This guy is too annoying.
Well, I have the perfect tool. Wait, is it a padlock or is it
It's
a
a
lock?
padlock, yes.
Okay, I've got the claw end of my warhammer. Can I attempt to
Yeah. Make a strength check.
A strength check, okay.
I like that.
Oh, well, I didn't like that. That's an 11 total.
Buddy, what are you doing? You're giving me a headache. Just
Get out of my face! You're
See, I told
distracted.
you he was annoying, right?
get the big guy. Big
All
guy,
right,
big guy.
right.
Come take this off.
I'm gonna, as we kind of pass by, I'm gonna lean down to Rurik and say, "I'm starting to think we should leave him in there." All right, I guess I'll try. I'll take the kind of like the blunt end of my axe, and I'll just kind of try to swing it down into the lock.
All right, make a strength check.
That's a 13. I don't know.
He goes, oh my god, can nobody get this damn thing off?
Do you know
Come
where we
on.
might find the key?
If I knew that, do you think I'd be sitting in here?
Well, because even if you just knew where the key is, you couldn't get it.
Well, I'd imagine it'd be on one of these goblins. The chief might have it. He's a nasty fella.
Oh,
Connor.
heavens.
Well, then we can leave you here and come back for you later. Then.
Yes.
Connor, I don't know if this is doable or not, so I'm asking, like, DM wise. If I can't like mend this lock off of it, can I?
No, mending is to mend
Fix something?
things, yeah. It's not
Yeah, I
called-
wasn't sure if I
it's
could
not
like.
called breaking,
mend it.
sadly.
Sadly. All right, just checking.
All right,
I guess
well,
I'll give it a try.
look, someone just hit it again. Come on.
I'll take a swing.
All right, take a swing.
Go,
I also have a warhammer.
Garrick.
Why y'all got warhammers? This is weird.
We're big Games Workshop fans.
You rolled a 1.
I did indeed.
Alright, as you roll a 1, you swing for the lock and you miss, and you manage to hit the actual just edge of the cage, which completely shatters it, but also carries through and hits Urki. And he just collapses onto the floor in this debris of the cage and goes, oh my god! Why?
Hey, at least he got it open.
Hit the lock! Oh! And he kind of stands up to his feet, just like bleary-eyed and like dizzy. He's like, I guess, thanks. Jeez.
You're
He just
welcome.
bends over to like catch his breath.
We could have left you in there.
That wouldn't have been very nice.
I mean, you were awfully annoying, to be fair.
All right. Let's go.
Wait,
We freed this
what
all
are you
man.
gonna do? What are you gonna do with him?
I don't care.
Wait,
You're a
Urki,
friendly guy, apparently, hey?
Before we're going to keep moving on here and trying to clear out this area of goblins, but anything you can give us some advice on?
Well, what do you want to know?
Well, rough numbers. What are they armed with?
Oh, the goblins? Well, I was captured by a patrol. I barely made it in here. Well, there was 4 of them then. The chieftain came to taunt me, though. I don't think he likes my kind. Yeah, he's a big fella. One of the big red ones. Never seen one before, but...
A goblin?
yeah. He's like a goblin, but looks like your friend here. Maybe not as big, but somewhere in between. Pretty bad for a goblin.
Interesting.
I didn't know goblins could get that large.
Would I know what he's referencing by red-skinned large goblin?
You probably would have protected the village from some. Make me a history check, see if you remember this.
History. Oh, that's an 8.
Craig!
It doesn't shock you, but you can't recall what it reminds you of.
All right.
There's no chance I would have come across anything similar to this before.
No, not with your best.
Okay.
Whatever
All right, well-
it is, we'll cut it down.
Because yeah, you might want to be careful though. They were, I don't know, bragging about people going down there and getting all sorts of nasty things to them.
I didn't
think
see another
they're-
group at all.
Yeah, I saw some more. I've seen a few groups come down here, but only.
How long have you been down here?
Oh God, like feels like a month and a half now. I don't know. It could be 2 days. I'm so bored. I've been in this cage the whole time.
And
But-
why didn't...
kobolds. You could have, I don't know, played a game
You
with
ever
them?
tried having an interesting conversation with a kobold?
We got a pal Meepo here. He's a interesting fella.
My friend, I have my travel Scrabble in my bag. They didn't even understand the basics. It was terrible.
I feel awfully, awfully bad for you.
That was awful.
I
But,
can tell why
these-
more than just us. I can tell why just us released you.
Well, I didn't really get to meet any of the others. I tend to hear about the guards taunting. Goblins like to brag. Who'd have thought?
Hmm.
Yeah, they seem to be working for someone. I'd be careful.
All right. Just so you know, if you go back the way that we came down the hallway there, there's gonna be some kobolds. Just tell them that we sent you back, and you should be hopefully safe.
Well, I'm awfully grateful. You guys out of North Shore, I guess?
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, I traveled there too, trying to find a little bit of, fame and fortune. More of the fortune, really, but... Well, I guess I'll make my way back there, unless you got any other questions.
Nothing for me.
We should keep moving.
Alright. Which one of you is the most wounded?
Probably... Actually, no, not me. I got healed. Never mind.
I'm full health.
I'm on 11.
Is that having lost any health?
Yeah, I've lost 3 hit points.
Derek, what about you?
I'm actually a little bit more injured than that. Then
John?
I'm
full
missing.
health.
I'm missing 4 health, so I guess
Okay.
I'm still.
Yeah,
most
he goes,
injured.
well, can't do much. Kind of exhausted from there, but... my deity kept me alive. Anyway, thanks, friends. And he reaches out an arm and casts Healing Word on you, Rocken.
Nice.
That's gonna heal you for a...
It pays to be good.
That heals you for 5 hit points, actually. Well,
He's a
I like how
gnome, right?
Yeah, I was
Yes,
gonna
he is
say,
a
I like
gnome.
how he-
I put like a giant hand on his shoulder and say, "Thank you."
I like how
quite
he
alright.
heals. He's nice to Vikeable people because Vike, he's the nicest one of the group.
well, he
clearly.
didn't hit me with a warhammer, so, there's that. Maybe I'll see you all back in North Shore. We can, have a drink and try to laugh about 40 days in a cage. Yikes. Anyway, I'll be seeing you. And he starts making his way.
Good luck.
What was his name again?
Erky. E-R-K-Y.
Erky. That's a nice name.
Thanks. He's disappearing down the corridor.
All right, shall we keep moving now, friends?
Yes.
Perhaps
Express
there are
them.
more people trapped in here.
Well, let's hope so, because we're trying to rescue one of them, or some of them even.
All right, should we go up or should we go left? I look at Meepo.
I don't know. I've never really been this far. I think the chief sits to the west, but I don't know. Maybe the dragon's somewhere else. I don't think he'd keep it with him.
We're going to have to do both either way.
Why?
We'll come back. Our first mission is to find the dragon as part of our deal, and our second mission is to find the missing group.
Oh, alright.
We're gonna have to do both.
Okay, well, up or left?
All right, left it is.
Left it is, then.
Okie doke. Off you go.
I am not going first.
I shall go first.
Alright.
I guess I should move my token.
Hey, Rurik got over the wall.
Go ham over. Oh yeah, look at
Do
you.
you want me to try and roll?
Roll an embarrassment check.
It would be very funny if you
Alright.
did. trip
You
over.
guys open the door to the left, and it seems like you're in a storeroom of sorts. Kind of a musty smell of kind of off food and some really sort of acidic smell also hits you. But you seem to be in some sort of pantry or storeroom.
Heavens, what do they eat?
Probably things that are expired. Can I look over to a barrel and like open it up and?
You
see?
certainly can. You approach the barrel on your right just as you enter. It seems to have an openable lid. And you open it, and it seems to be some sort of bizarre stew, and it smells terrible. And you see ears and nails, and then you're looking at the inside of the lid, and it just reads elf pudding.
Oh,
Yikes.
Oh, jeepers.
oh boy, guys, be careful not to end up the soup here.
And Meepo goes, "Ooh, elf pudding sounds nice."
No, it's filled with calories.
Oh, I do like to keep a trim figure.
Yeah, you need that to impress the ladies, after all.
Yeah. The queen called me not entirely useless once.
Hey, that means you have a chance.
That's what I'm hoping.
All right, door on the left. Unless
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You opening it? Whole hog?
No, not whole hog. Definitely not whole hog.
We've covered this.
I shall open it halfway.
Okay.
Half
You
hog.
open it half hog.
Half hog.
And
Put
you
my
see-
left foot.
I'll say you see about that. It appears to be a long corridor lined with pillars.
All right. I'll just open it the whole way.
Okay, whole hog. You
No, I'm not stepping in.
you open it and it's a large
Being
corridor
stressful,
lined with
isn't it?
pillars. And several torches actually seem to be mounted in sconces around the chamber. That's a good word. And it fills the air with sort of like a smoky haze. There's far more torches in here than other places. A double row of marble columns carved with entwining dragons run the length of the hall.
Thanks. Is it? Did you
Kings.
say like they're banners?
No, they're carved. So they're
Oh,
like...
they're carved. Sorry.
yeah.
I thought they were like banners.
And there's a door immediately to your right. A couple of doors further on the right as well. One on the left and one at the end of the corridor.
All right,
Right.
it's time to play door roulette again.
The king will sit at the end of the hall. All kings do.
Well, is he a king or just a chief?
It won't matter what he calls himself, but how he views himself. He'll sit at the end of the hall.
Yeah, but we do not want to look for him. We want to look for the dragon.
We're going to have to deal with him one way or the other.
Do we though? I mean, we don't need to. We just need to get that dragon and find the
Maybe
others.
find the group if we can.
Perhaps they're not with the chief.
I would say if we do want to take him out, we leave him till last. You know, explore other avenues first.
That's assuming he's actually at the end of the hall.
I
Fair
mean, we
point.
might as well just check and see.
Fine.
What's behind door number 1?
Yeah, let's go to the first right door.
Alright, who's going
Okay.
up to the door?
I will. Oh, yeah. No, go ahead, Garrick. No, that's all you. That's all you, bud.
Alright,
Garrick, you got this.
make me a perception check as you approach the door, Garrick.
Ooh, I rolled a 20, not
That's
natural.
okay. As you approach the door, you realize that there appears to be almost like a fine mist spilling under the door. That, as it meets your boots, has a certain chilling touch to it.
I do not like that.
And the door handle seems very cold when touched.
Open
Wait
the
a
door,
minute.
Garrick. What is it?
Wait a minute. He said it's the white dragon, is it not?
You did.
White dragons?
I don't know anything about dragons.
I don't know if I would know anything about dragons either.
You'd have
I
heard-
would
you'd
maybe
have heard them
read
in
about it.
tales and in sort of far-flung stories and nobility, I imagine. But it would be very second-hand, 25th.
Yeah.
I mean, I would assume I've heard dragonness, but to know anything about the
You would all
colors.
know relative folklore about dragons, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Meepo, does your dragon, does he breathe fire?
Not fire, no.
What does he breathe?
Oh, it's terrible. It's so cold. He does it every now and again just to threaten me. He's done it to the others, though. I've seen it. Shatters them.
Meepo. And do you find that it is cold around the dragon?
Oh, yes. Terrible, terrible. This time of year. Not bad in summer, but terrible most times.
Meepo, this door is cold, and there's a cold draft coming from the bottom.
Oh, well, that sounds like it then. He's going to start walking towards the door frame.
Whoa!
Wait,
Hang on,
Meepo,
hang on.
Meepo, call out
Ooh.
before you open the door. Just say it, it's your old pal Meepo.
All right.
The small one should go in.
the way of the door.
Yeah, the small one should go in first. We shouldn't enter until he's handled this.
Alright.
I'm going
But
to
but
take.
there's
I'm going to
goblins.
step back.
He's going to kind of go to the door and be like, Calcrix. Calcrix. Oh, he's not answering.
I give him a rough push. For
Calcrix,
real, this
Calcrix,
time.
Calcrix. Oh, I feel like I should be
he is
entirely
fun.
open. He doesn't really like me. And also,
Is it-
But how so?
oh, well, I think he doesn't like being in the cage.
Meepo, tell us everything.
No, it really is just that. He doesn't like me very much.
Okay.
He tries to get me a few times, but thankfully the cage keeps him in check.
Well, Meepo, let's say that he is behind that door and we open it. Do you think he'll immediately go for you?
Oh, maybe not immediately.
Can you calm him down at all?
I can try.
Do you have any
I'll-
dragony biscuits on you?
Well, he doesn't have biscuits. He tends to like, people.
Tell him you're going to get him out of here.
Should have brought the
Alright,
body.
well, okay. And he kind of turns back to the door and reaches for the handle and touches it, and it just goes. Ching. He's like, oh, it's locked. Okay. Oh, what a shame. All right, we'll have to go.
Kaylin, get this small man in that room.
Can I actually try the door? Is it actually locked?
It is locked, yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure if he was just lying, but alright. Can I try to unlock it, please?
You can, yes.
Alright, please good roll. Oh, 19.
Okay, you make pretty swift work of this one. You're sort of starting to get used to some of the intricacies of the functions within the fortress.
The hang of this.
Yeah, getting used to this type of door. You've tried a few now, and yeah, you pretty swiftly managed to just thunk the levers right round, and yeah, seems like the door is open.
Alright, anybody would like to go first? Meepo?
Meepo will, and I push the door open.
Alright, well, I guess I'll go in and get him.
Use a calming, soothing voice, Meepo.
You lot might want to... Oh, thank you. That's a nice thing to say about my voice.
Well, no, I'm saying use a calming voice.
Alright, I'll try. And he's going to start edging his way in around the door.
Can we, like, peek to see what's in there?
You lot stay... yeah, you can try peeking when he's going in if you want. You don't really see...
I mean, I'm staying behind Meepo, but I want to see what's in there.
Okay, you get a little bit of a peek in. I'll give you, like, a sliver. You see that it looks to be some sort of almost like a war room or a storage room again, with chests lining the walls, and appears to be some sort of bookshelves and weapon racks, almost like an armory.
Meepo, what do you see in there?
Wait, before me, yeah, I'll also say to Meepo, I'll whisper in, the goblins.
I don't see any goblins. Let me go in. I'll see if I can get him to come out.
Meepo's gonna get fucking sniped.
Yeah, he is.
Alright, so he's going to start sidling around the door, kind of semi-closing it behind him, until he's out of sight in the room.
Why did he close the door?
He semi-closed it. Trusts the kobold knows what he's doing.
Put it to the latch.
The dragon would kill any of us if we walked in there at this point. He's our best chance.
Let's just wait and listen for the sounds of icy pain. I don't know what you...
Yeah. I will listen until I hear either Meepo seems to be in like some kind of pain or trouble, or until there's like a lot of noise coming from the room, I guess.
So you wait a few seconds, you hear inside, you say, Calcrix. Calcrix. Until eventually, you just feel a gust of the cold air from under the door. And almost like a howling wind inside the room as the door just slams the final bit shut.
I open the door.
Alright. You just opening the door?
I open the door, and
Okay.
I'll step inside.
As you open the door, you feel it hit something. As you manage to smash the frozen Meepo into 1,000 pieces with the back of the door. And just, what seems like crystalline dust almost, just showers the room and goes everywhere. As this dust is settling, you do begin to see a form at the other end of the room. A form that looks quite a lot like a small white dragon at the back of the room.
Oh.
His attention immediately snaps to you. What would you like to do?
Meepo was our favorite character.
Yeah, I do feel bad for Meepo. We are here to set you free.
Does it talk at
Speak.
the dragons?
Of what this is.
Does anybody speak Draconic?
Or perish. He speaks to you in common.
Oh.
We're here to set you free. You are held captive against your will, are you not?
I am.
Look how we just immediately killed Meepo.
I mean, am I the only one still in here at this point? I guess I am.
Sounds like
Well, we're kind of behind you. We can't really.
Yeah, I am deliberately hanging back.
Okay, I will make like a very slow approach and say,
Stay where you are.
I'll stop. We've been asked to retrieve you by them, and I'll gesture
You will
behind me.
not retrieve me for anyone. He sort of flares his wings out, and you see that although this is, of course, a small draconic being, at great wingspan, it still spans about 9 or 10 feet. This is no small creature.
I'll look to Kaylin and kind of.
I mean, it is caught here behind its will. If we let it go, I mean, there's not really. If it chooses to go back to the people, then it does, and if it does not, there's not much we can really do.
Are you saying that
Wait.
discreetly? Like,
yeah, I
All
guess. No, but I go up to it and I go. So clearly you are not friends with these kobolds, by the looks of it.
do not speak in jest to me. I will see those who imprison me undone.
So you wish them dead, then?
I will see them undone.
How are you stuck in here?
Well, that works for us anyway.
These doors are
Like-
strong.
I was gonna say, like, do I see why the dragon's stuck in there? Is it just locked behind the door? Is that what
Yeah,
it
it
was?
just appears to be locked in the room. He's not like the biggest physically. It's probably about the size of a lion, essentially. It's not huge.
We need to get rid of the kobolds from that place. I don't care if he kills them or if they leave willingly. I'm fine setting him free.
They will not leave willingly. They keep me as a sick pet.
Well, then,
So, I mean, I don't know, but I'm happy to grant him his freedom.
I was going to say, this way we could probably
Not
actually...
that we grant anything, Great
Yes.
Dragon. You.
It is not you who let me go.
Of course not. No.
No, but I was just about to say, this works in both of our favors. Perhaps we can mutually come to benefit from this.
That may be so.
I'm just saying, we need these kobolds gone from this. You want to kill the kobolds.
Tell me
there's-
why you need to survive for any of that to happen.
Dead men can't break chains.
I mean, to be fair, we made it all the way over here and we're able to get this far. That says something, does it not? We're pretty useful, pretty resourceful.
What use do I have for you?
Told you, dead men can't break chains.
What does that even mean?
If you want us to set you free, you'll need
I'm
us
not
alive.
chained up in here.
Wait, he's not chained
He's
up?
not chained up. No, he's
But
standing in front of you.
The
but
door
if
was
we
locked.
if we
door
literally
was locked,
walk
yeah.
out the door and close it, are you not still trapped?
You wouldn't get to locking the door. Do not threaten me again.
You may not. I may not be able to, but my friends could.
Look, look. Let's just not even debate it. Look, there's no point. Look, just you can.
Yeah,
he's free to
you can
go.
Yeah, I agree. You can go.
Well, then go then.
You will
I'm just saying we could
enter
have both
this
killed them.
room. All of you. I would see who I speak with.
All right, and I'll walk into the room.
Like I said, we have no quarrel with you. We just wish to both kill the kobolds. There's nothing.
Kaylin, you're making this worse.
What do you mean? He wants to kill the kobolds. We want to kill the kobolds. We can all kill kobolds.
Now I know how it feels to play with Cash.
I was gonna say.
I'm not debating with him. I'm just saying. We
The
could.
fancy one is not wrong. They will all die by my hand. The goblins too. You must remain here.
Could we, Great Dragon? I beseech you for a small boon. There is a party we're looking for that may be captured by the goblins.
I know nothing of
But-
any other party.
All I would ask is if you did see them, then maybe you could spare them.
They look nothing like
Make a
them.
persuasion roll.
All right, okie
See, I'm not the one
Come
bargaining
on.
now.
Persuasion roll against dragon. Good luck.
Well,
Come on, Craig.
Oh, that's a 9. That is a 9.
You did it, Craig.
Here's You stand still, because you have freed me from this room. Do not ask anything else. You will remain here. If I see you again, you will perish. Stand aside.
All right, I will back up
He's going to
against the wall.
start
And
skulking towards the door.
I will. I'm freely letting him pass. Just-
Right?
Yep.
Are you moving out of the way?
Yeah.
However, I don't want the door to close when he leaves. So if he tries to close the door, I'll try to catch you with my foot.
Okay, I mean, he's making his way out the door. And,
Okay, as long as he's not closing it behind him, I'm fine with that.
well, I mean, as he's making his way out, I imagine his tail would catch and start to swing the door the other way. But so the door starts creaking behind you. It's not being definitively slammed shut.
Okay, that's fine. As long as he, sure.
All right. He skulks his way out of the room.
So look, if
So
he's
now
going,
what?
well, if he's going off on some hellbent rampage of goblin and kobold killing, perhaps we just stay in here for a little bit. I mean, try and stay out of his way. Because,
Yeah, but how the hell are we going to get out of here? Is he skulking around?
well, I mean, just wait for. He won't stay here forever, will he? He's got to leave at some point.
How do you know? Dragons
No.
like to make layers and shit, don't they?
Well, I don't know too much, but like I would think that he wouldn't maybe want to stay in a place where he was captured.
Maybe not. If we're lucky. That still doesn't solve the fact that we don't know where the other group is. And he might kill them on the way as well.
After a few seconds, you hear an extremely loud roar coming from the west of you guys. And
Looks like he's dealing
the
with the
distant
goblins.
cacophony of a lot of screaming.
You know what we could do? While he's busy slaughtering those goblins, we could literally just get out of here and run away.
Well, what about the matter of the other party?
We could tell them that we did not find them, or we could tell them that the dragon ate them. I don't know, make up some story. I would rather leave with my
That
life
was
than...
not the job.
Well,
Oh, would you rather go face the dragon then?
Or we can wait. Have patience, child.
I am no child.
Then stop acting like one.
I would just say let's sit here for a wee bit, catch our breaths, have a wee picnic or something,
Have a short rest.
and see where we stand after that. See if we can continue to hear the sounds, or whatever happens.
All right. You guys taking a short rest? You gonna bunker down in
well-
here?
Yeah.
While we're resting, can I just kind of look around the room to see what's in these other, like...
Sure. I mean, I'd say that you're spending a while in here, so you don't need to roll for it. You can go around and open the chests if you would like to. There are chests in here.
I would like
They
to.
look
Literal
like
chests.
benches.
We are playing D&D. Open the chests, party. Open the chests.
It's a
There's
mimic.
Stuff in the chest. Open the chest. Shit, shut
I
up.
would like to open the chest, please.
It's a mimic. All right.
Yeah.
The first chest you open up, are you opening all of them? I'll say you open all of them and you pile stuff in the middle. So you find a lot of valuables, actually, it seems, including a dragon-shaped jade figurine, some crystalline goblets, and 24 pieces of fine silverware as well.
Ooh, I'm good.
However, you also find a scroll in one of the cages, written in a language that, Kaylin, I'm going to have to check your character sheet. Or you can just tell me, what languages do you speak?
I forgot my second language. I only know Common right now.
Okay, you only know Common then. So, you find a scroll in a language that you don't quite understand.
I will have my second language by the next time, I'm sorry. What is a jade statue, some silver goblets, and then what?
And, no, a crystal goblet and some 24 pieces of fine silverware.
Okay.
But like forks and stuff, you can fit it all in the back.
Okay.
There's no massive candelabra or anything like that.
There's not. Sadly.
Okie dokie. I have this scroll. I show it to the other guys. I show the scroll. I was like, does anybody understand this?
Rurik and Garrick, you recognize it as in Dwarvish. The front of the scroll is emblazoned with a name in Dwarven runes. That spells out.
I happen to speak Dwarvish as well, actually.
Oh, there
It's
you go.
my
All
other
three of
language
you.
besides Orc.
All three of you can read it. And you notice that the Dwarvish runes spell out Hundrukar. It's Khundrukar.
Kundroha.
Hundrukar.
What does this mean?
And there is a short message underneath it as well. If you unfurl the scroll, you can see the beginning of it starting.
Sure.
I will
Unfurl
read
it.
it aloud.
It says, "The remaining few, by order of Durgadin the Black, we have created a secret dwarven redoubt. None shall find us. However," and then it stops.
That's quite curious, isn't it? Here's a question for you, Connor. Can I tell how if the ink is faded or if it looks fresh at all?
Ooh, what would that be? Make me a... It would honestly probably just be perception, I guess, or... Yeah, maybe a perception check.
Okie doke. It's a 16.
This was written a long time ago.
Well, whoever wrote this is, well, I don't know, probably dead.
Alright. You all bunkering down for a short rest then?
Yeah.
Yep.
As you all finally sit down and catch your breath amongst the dusted remains of Meepo, that's where we'll pick up tomorrow. As you have
Ooh.
All right.
vanquished Calcrix and reached level 2. There we go.
Whoa, level 2.